Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Talk with the Titans, live from London, UK, all the way to the US of A and worldwide. I'm your host, Kalam, and this is Talk with the Titans. Oh, man. We're about to go in, baby. We're about to get live with you. Family members, I know a lot of you guys have been downloading the Discord. Yep, that is the new place to catch us. Let me just quickly hook you lot up with what's going on right now. So as you can see over here, this is just behind the scenes, right? We have so many people, in the last hour or so that's joined us over here on the right hand side. So this is the new place to be, right? We've got organized discussions going on. What I mean by organized discussions, we have something over here called the information corner, where we have, Islamic conversations going on. We have it set up where our Shia brethren can get involved with some conversation. Our Sunni brothers can get involved with some conversation if you just want to be by yourselves. And of course, we've got our Christians as well, if they want to get involved with any conversations, right? So we've got all that going on over there. We've also got the comedic corner as well, where we've got the comedic ideas and discussions taking place. So if you want to join us, when you do join us, just let us know, what are you or what type of conversations that you're interested in, and we'll make sure we allocate you into the right rooms and make sure that your system is set up correctly. We've also got the Titans Coliseum, blood and sand. That means it's a free for all, so everybody can get it. So no matter if you're a Christian, Moor, Jew, Kemetic, whatever you are, you get involved with all the different types of conversations that we have. We also have, general discussions as well. We also have something where we get to discuss Speaker's Corner information as well. So if you're interested in Speaker's Corner and what that entails, we can get it in there as well. Let me quickly see. This is all new to me, so I'm just making sure that everything is good. I think we've got new people that's trying to join right now. So yeah, please do join in. Let me accept you as a friend. I'm not too sure how much it works. I've got my moderators just doing the hard work for me until I get up to speed with it. So this is the new thing that we've got going on. So please, if you can do, join, right? And in there, you should find the link. Let me quickly double check. The link should be here, and I'm going to post it. Run from your wife. Actually, let me quickly get you to let me know where is the best place to actually post it right now. If I was to post it, let me make sure I've taken you off mute. Okay, if I was to post this now, where is the best place to post it? Should I just do it in the announcements section?
Yeah, Kalam, just do it. No, do it in the YouTube chat.
The YouTube chat,
and it's good.
The YouTube chat, okay, but that's for the this is for the Hangouts link. So everybody who's on,
yeah, you can post it there. Put it on the YouTube chat.
So now I want to put it inside of the Discord. So on the Discord right now,
yeah.
which one should we put in? The main, the general conversations? Okay, we're gonna post in general conversations right now. So if you guys would like to come in, all right, the general conversation right here, click the link and you'll be able to come online with us, okay? But really and truly, what we've got going on right now is the video with Tan. That's the real thing we're trying to play right now. We're gonna play the video with Tan. I wanna get your thoughts on this. And of course, I will be posting the link inside of the description box later on for those of you guys who haven't actually joined us on Discord, which is literally at the bottom. If you haven't joined us on Discord, you out, Hassan. So if you haven't already joined us on Discord, literally all you have to do is go down in the description box and you will find the link later on after we've played the video clip. Okay, we want to get your opinions, we want to get your views on the video. All right, so shouts out to all of you guys who have actually tuned in. We've got over 120 people tuned in right now. Family members, I know there's only 8 likes there as I can see, so please make sure you hit up the like button, support Titans TV so we can grow, expand, and do the best that we possibly can do for you guys, right? We're doing this all for you. All right, so now I'm going to hit the share screen button and then I'm going to play it, right? So let's go to, shouts out to Bayt El Ghadir yet again, just quick promotion to my Shia brothers. They've done their work over here, but let's get it right here. Good brother Hassan is in the background as well. So let's do this, right? I'm going to play this. I want you guys to listen intently. And then afterwards, I'm going to ask you, what are your impressions? So everybody, please keep your mics muted who are already here.
Okay, ready to fuck nigga? Oh, nigga, fucking nigga! Okay, fucking nigga! You know why people always say black people have low IQ? Maybe because it's true. If nigger is a racist word, which mainly an American thing, but somehow black people around the world is so angry that they stop everyone from using the word nigger, but use it exclusively among themselves. If that is not an example of low IQ, I don't know what is. It's either we use the word collectively, or we stop using it entirely. It takes two to tango. It takes two to tango. You don't see me going around. You don't see me going around calling my people Ching. You don't see me going around calling my people Ching, because half the population of China can't even speak proper English, and they're taught Ching is a food. By the way, you know kafir or kufa is a much more common racial slur against black people in Africa, right? Trevor Noah told me, if the only leader you look up to, a rapper or Nation of Islam, then you guys are royally fucked. Have you seen the Nation of Islam leaders giving speech in Speaker's Corner, London? Now he's just a nobody, but he's totally pretending like he's Obama with all the security around him. When he's in power, he'll be high up in the Eiffel Tower, far away from the people. Nigger, stop putting all eggs in one basket and start admiring knowledge and learn the hard way.
We've been told.
I'm short like Napoleon, but I never asked for a shorter basketball hoop in NBA. I just have to work double hard. Life is never fair. Deal with it. The reason black gangs suck is because they lack business acumen. Just look at how the Russian or Italian crime syndicates operate. It's a lot more smarter because they are into business, not senseless killing. Now you know why black on black crime is so crazy, because they're fucking dumb, and yet you want to say fuck the police. Another showcase of high intellect. Have you ever thought that maybe most of you are big, black, tall, and love to wear hoodie at night that scare the shit out of other people? None of you look like a fucking nerd. You know why yellow people are invisible? We all look like nerds. That is our superpower. Next time, nigga, try wearing pink Peppa Pig shirt and see if there'll be any police brutality. Try it. Wear the pink Peppa Pig shirt and see if any police brutality attack you. Nigga, it's time for self-reflection. This is a war of evolution. Nobody owes anyone anything. We have to make it work, or we will all perish. The only time black people ever mobilize themselves to do stupid shit. Go watch the movie Detroit. Watch the movie Detroit and picture yourself. Which character are you in the movie? I bet 90% of you are not the security guard who tried to make it work in life, but in the end got fucked by both sides. Keep rioting and burning your own neighborhood. Really high IQ. No wonder you believe in white privilege, because if white privilege exists, it implies white are genetically superior. This is yellow privilege telling you, use your fucking brain. Do you want to be low IQ or high IQ? The spirit for self-preservation of your people is important, but don't spend it on low IQ activities, please. For Britain, it's not about championing color of skin. It's about freedom for everyone. Black life doesn't matter because they are irrelevant. For Britain matters, as there's a Chinese proverb that says, without a country, there will be no family left. Country come first. Rest again. Gonna fuck snowflakes left in SJW. Thank you.
I'll meet you outside, mate. I'll meet you outside.
I'm ready to die. It's a good day to die. Today is the day we die and reborn. Today is the day we die and reborn, so that we can enter the brave new world. Feel free to shoot me up. I'm staying alone. Come and stab me. Not right now. Not right now, yes.
Yeah. Kind of affect the speech. It'll affect the speech. So that we don't care about it.
Fuck snowflakes, lefties, and social justice warrior. That's a good, best response so far.
Okay, so I believe that is the end of the N word. All right. So let me just quickly come out of that. All right. So far we've got my brother Hassan that's here with us as well, right? What I'm going to actually do before anything else, I'm actually going to try to share the link to you guys because it seems as though not everybody has hopped onto the Discord, right? So let me share the link inside of the YouTube. Now I'm going to apologize in advance because you already know that we usually get the trolls flooding in on this, but it would be really awesome if we can trust our audience members right now to share the link so we get more people to come on and have this discussion, because this is a much needed discussion. Everybody has been talking about it. Wow, look already, look at this. I don't know if you lot can see this already. You know, monetization has already been blocked on this. The show hasn't even thoroughly started yet or even finished. Usually it stops it. It usually tells you, you know, your thing is not being monetized like after the show is finished. Will tell you this, but right now, you know, it's getting a bit political. So right now I've actually shared the link, okay, inside of the description box, so you can join at any moment's notice. Where is it? It should be here somewhere, okay? It should just appear down here somewhere. I may have to refresh my screen. I know my signal is a bit poor. So, and I would love to get more people involved. So far, we have an atheist, we have a Muslim, we have James from Speaker's Corner, we have Hassan from Speaker's Corner as well. But I would love to get some more individuals involved with this conversation, especially members of the Black community, right? Okay, because I'm going to keep my mouth quiet. You know, I have my own view of this. But again, I do not want to steer this conversation. I want you guys to talk to me and actually steer the conversations yourselves and release and vent as much as you can. So again, right, the link is literally in the description box right now. So please, content over everything's in the building. Jay Boogie's in the building as well. Nino Brown, Lexi's in the building. So please, okay, I need you guys to go into the description box and hit the join the link button. So right now, I'm going to actually start this off, and I'm going to speak to individuals that's actually on the panel. So I want to go first of all to the first Black person that I knew was on was Mo. He just left at present. So I want to make sure I get my Black audience to speak on this first. So I'm going to go to Mad. I believe that you are Black, and I'm going to go to Mo afterwards. So Mad, are you from the Afro-Caribbean community at all?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. All right. So I'm going to ask you, you know, I don't want you to talk about anything. I just want to know your first impression on listening to that or viewing what Tan was saying. How do you feel?
What I would say is this to me seems like an Asian person coming from Asia who don't know shit really about what Black people have gone through and how they've been manipulated over the years by white society, you know, especially in America and just in general. He's completely ignorant about the way that word has actually even come into power. Now, one thing you have to realize is it's come to power through music. Okay. Now, who owns music?
Say nothing, my brother. Before we go off topic, I just want to get reactions. Like
he's ignorant, and it's just purely disgusting. And as far as I'm concerned, he just put his life in danger. That's simple as that.
Okay. So keep your mics muted, everybody. We just want to get your first impression from hearing this. We are going to go into depth, and we are going to speak about the things that he stated and your thoughts on them. But I just want to get your emotional reaction first. So just give me a few words of your emotional reaction. So Mo, give me your reaction to listening to that.
Well, for me, I mean, it just sounded like the same old political rhetoric you would hear from somebody who's like a Trump supporter. I don't care about politics. I don't care about Obama, Trump, none of that. It's all trash to me. But it just seemed like he was ignorant of both Black, you know, the Black plight, the Black situation. But there were a couple of points where I kind of heard where he was coming from. So I mean, I'm so used to hearing that word now from different people. It doesn't really, I think the effect of it has kind of died off, even though many are still affected by that word. But as far as a reaction, it was just more of like, yeah, I just see somebody kind of, you know, speaking out the side of their neck instead of actually speaking on the real situation.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Let me go to Zuriab. Zuriab, talk to me, King.
Yo. I wanted to say that I don't think it's ignorant. I think it's very well thought. So man has thought about this. Tan, like, it's not a well thought, it's not a good thought, but it's Tan has thought about this. He's obviously had that scripted, and he's plugging into conversations and argumentations that are made by the alt-right. And I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about it? Is this a testament or a sign of Chinese supremacy? Is this relevant? I don't know. I'm gonna put this back to you. But initially, I'm gonna stay away from the emotional aspect, because I don't let any other man push my buttons, and no man will be able to push my buttons like that. Do you see what I'm saying? I feel like it's just a regurgitation of your common alt-right arguments.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Now let me just mix this up. I know we've got, Hassan, and we know we've got Raj in the building. But I already know, these are two individuals I'm going to leave to the very end, to be honest with you. So Gabs, Medicine Man, like I've sent you the link, G. I sent you the link. Like you're the first person I sent the link to. So you better make sure that you're in the building, or somebody may have to give up their spot for you. Let me see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. It is packed. It is packed. So I apologize. All right. So let me go over now to Vegeta. Then I'm going to go to Abdi Khalik.
Okay. Yeah, blood.
Go on. Talk to me. Your first opinion, your first reaction.
I've got an opinion, but I want to see what the black folks want to say in it.
Well, the black folks have spoken already, so I'm asking you now.
Nah, you ain't spoken. You're the one of the key black folks on here, man.
I know. I'm the moderator right now, so unfortunately, I'm gonna have to wait till the very end to give my opinion.
Nah, it was that guy obviously trying to be a comedian, but it's the limits of free speech. The limits of free speech, are they being pushed, or what? Are they got limits on free speech? I want to hear what's going on.
Okay, anyway, awesome. Man. Awesome, thank you. Now let me go over to let's see, Abdi Khalik.
Yes, man. To be honest, I just want to hear what the black brothers are saying. But one point I want to make is that Uncle Omar, when he was racist, he got a lot of stick for it, and I'm saying that Tan needs to get stick. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. And who do you think he got stick from?
From mainly, I think you've made a few videos about Uncle Omar. I think that Uncle Omar is racist. That's my opinion. But I think you need to be fair. All people, non-Muslims, Muslims, racism is not okay. That's what I'm saying.
Do you think Tan is racist?
100%, of course.
Okay. And when you say racist, do you think he looks down on the black race, the white race? Who do you think does he think the Malaysian people are superior to everybody else? Like, would you give me like a little breakdown of what you think?
No, I'm just saying he looks down upon black people. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, thank you. And
out of what he said, that's what I understood.
And what country or ethnicity are you from?
Me, I'm Somali.
Nope. Okay, never mind. All right. All right. Let me go to James right now. Go ahead, James.
Hi. In terms of emotional reaction, I remember kind of watching just a few minutes of like a full upload, and I found it sort of pretty weird. Like that was my first reaction. It was like a pretty weird thing to listen to. I mean, I feel like if you kind of spent time kind of like taking emotion out of his voice and like taking away like all the style and the style of delivery and just looked at the words and what he's saying, kind of maybe there's some things you could look at as like sort of making sense or like not being totally crazy, that sort of thing. But still the overarching kind of reaction is that it's kind of like sort of, I know that the amount of how amped he's getting about it seems a bit weird, and I sort of wonder whether even if he's like saying sensible things, like someone can say sensible things and be a bit unbalanced at the same time, So I wonder if he should be kind of like treated as though he's totally compos mentis, that's what I kind of wondered, like whether he should be taken seriously as someone who's totally, like you wouldn't like blame a kind of like sort of totally, you wouldn't blame an unbalanced person for saying kind of unbalanced things. So I'm wondering kind of whether he is to any degree like that. Those are my initial reactions.
Okay, thank you. Gabs, can I get you to join us right now? Okay, G has just jumped out. Oh man. Gamer Man has just jumped in. Gamer Man, do me a favor, brother. Can you just jump out until Gabs comes back in, and I'll make sure that you're the first person back in again. Gamer, thank you. Gabs, please jump in. Okay, I need you in here right now. The community definitely wants to hear a black voice speaking on this that they're familiar with. So please come in, come in. All right. All right. Medicine Man is in the building, but let me go through everybody else. So James Speaker's Corner, bless. Let me go through to Raj first, and then Hassan, and then Gabs. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm going to give my spot up in a minute anyway. I just wanted to say my piece. I think black people should really be talking about this more than just me. I was there, and obviously I support Tan. Tan has sacked me from Tangoism, so I'm not in there at the moment because obviously I have my own kind of views on certain words, and I don't use the N word at all. I think it's a word that shouldn't be used even in rap or any kind of like way, even like in a friendly way. But I don't want to make the word illegal. This is the thing, as a free speech absolutist, although I disagree with using it, I wouldn't want to make the word illegal or punish anyone for using it. In terms of his speech, I think what he was saying, some of it made sense, but it was completely rude, in my opinion. His message was lost because of the amount of times he used that particular word. He could have said it like once and had much more impact about people using the word, but instead he said it so many times that all people are going to hear now is the N word. So that's pretty much my particular take. I don't agree with using the word. I don't agree with Tan using the word or anyone using the word. But I wouldn't want anyone to get attacked or harmed for using it. So that's my piece.
Thank you, Raj. All right, I'm going to go with now to Hassan. So I want to get your, you was there, you were standing there. What was your first reactions and your hearts and your thoughts in hearing it, or now you've heard it over and over again? Let me know what your reaction is like.
To be honest with you, Cal, is there any chance that you could put Gabs on, because I'd rather just hear the whole sides first before I sort of just try to explain what happened that day. Would that be possible?
Definitely. Titan? Let me get my brother Gabs, the resident medicine man. Oh man, let's get you on, my friend.
Yo, what's happening? You good, yeah?
Oh man.
Yeah, buddy. So what's this? This about the whole Tan thing, yeah?
Yeah, G. So we played a video of Tan's, announcement. He literally read out his manifesto. So it was beautiful to just listen to everybody's response and back at this. So I want to know your, first take a listen to it.
Okay. Do you know? Yeah, I understand what Tan was getting at, and it's kind of true what Raj was saying. I understood the point. I understood the point what he was trying to say. I understand what he was trying to get out. And with regards to him saying the N-word, I agree with what Raj is saying. What Raj is saying about he said it a bit too much, where some people that are trying to listen to what he's trying to say, all they're gonna hear is just the N-word when he kept saying it all the time. If he did just do it like twice and then get into explaining what he meant, then people might have got the context a bit more better. But on the whole thing about on the N-word, me personally, I spoke about this a little bit on Speaker's Corner. What's the brother's name? Rob's channel. And I was saying, yeah, this whole N-word thing, people, like the whole N-word thing is true. It's either the word is going to get banned or no one say it at all, because all this stuff, people saying, he said the N-word, he's a racist and that. And one of my points was that, look, listen, you see so much black people in the music industry, the movie industry, comedy industry, even battle rap industry, yeah, you throwing out the N-words. Do you know what I mean? You can go on YouTube right now and click up any well-known black comedian, whether it be Chris Rock, Cat Williams or whoever, and in the audience it'll be a mixture of black people, Chinese, South Americans, Europeans, you name it, be an audience, and the N-word is being thrown out and people are laughing. So you know what I mean, it gets a bit weird when people are using the N-word in like comedy and all these different things, and people can laugh about it and stuff, and in movies and people can laugh about it, and even in the music industry where people are making rap songs and using the N-word, yeah, and now one person will say the N-word, and then everybody starts getting a bit crazy, like, oh look, he's racist, he said the N-word. But hold on a minute, you guys were just sitting in the house with your white friends, laughing at Chris Tucker make a joke about the N-word. Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking, where do we draw the line on this N-word stuff? I don't understand. And I think in the time and day and age that we're living in now, like the N-word, it's been played out now. It's been used so many times, like it's lost that old school meaning of what it was back in the day when slaves were being called the N-word and stuff like that. But even if you even go far back, even into that, like me personally, if I was an African that was being kidnapped by a European and they was calling me the N-word, yeah, calling me a nigger, 9 times out of 10, that African probably didn't even know what the European was saying when he was calling him a nigger. All he would have seen is that when this European or whoever was kidnapping him, when they were using that word in their face and their actions, pain and suffering, pain was in their actions, in their face. They might not know what the word is. They might have been speak click language. So to an African that speaks in click language, when someone's saying the N-word, they don't know what the heck that person's saying. Do you know what I mean? It's only over time, once we started seeing these old movies, about racism, roots, and all this stuff, and people in America going through it when people were calling them the N-word and hanging people and saying, yeah, get the niggas, da 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 da. Only that was the thing that started to make it a bit more racist in a certain time period. But now, 2018 going into 2019, bro, the N-word. Listen, I was even saying it to one of my friends the other day. I've seen videos of white people calling white people niggas. Bro, I know you've seen it. I've seen Asians calling Asian niggas when they're fighting, bro. So now what does that mean? So when a white person's calling another white person nigga, what do we say to that now? Are we saying that they're still being racist on black people when they're calling each other niggas, or what? What do we do? Do you know what I mean? So that's just my point on it, man. I don't know, man.
All right. Oh, Sugar, Great Brit. I did not know that. Sugar. Okay. All right. Let me speak about that actually later on because it's gonna muddle that. But thank you, Great Brit. I've just watched your comment. Hassan, I'm gonna actually make you hold tight a little bit longer. I want to see Gamerson seems to want to speak a lot. Gamer, are you free? Are you available to unmute your mic and talk?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say, I think Tan should probably go back to Malaysia. I think Hassan should join him and get his teeth fixed there.
All right, thank you very much. But again, I want to do this, yeah, please, family. I know we're speaking on very touchy topics, but I want to make sure you all understand that we need to have respect for our audience members, right? We have 3 rules on Talk with Time. Sorry, Talk with Time.
Yeah, but Hassan shows me no respect, bro.
I hear you, but if you keep on interrupting, I'm going to have to block you, and I don't want to block you, okay? So number one rule, just let everybody know this. Number 1 rule, yeah, is to keep your mics muted at all times, right? Now, rule number 2, okay, is respect the cipher. When one of our Titans is speaking, i.e. our panel members who are on here now, please do not interrupt them. Rule number 3 is that we do not accept and allow any ad hominem attacks or any profanities, all right? So we're going to try to keep that to the very minimum because we have children tuned in right now. I know we're speaking something that's very sensitive and really and truly, some people may classify it as vulgar language already from the jump. So I know this is mainly focused to older generations, but please, let's keep it civil. All right, so Hassan, I don't know if you wanted to speak on this now. Are you available? Yeah, let's get it, my brother. Talk to me.
To be honest with you, I've not seen Tan's manifesto until he read it then, and I found it to be the
Yo,
most
look at Hassan's teeth, man. Yo, look at those fucking teeth, bro.
Oh, come on, lads.
So unfortunately, the brother had to get blocked. Okay, so
unfortunately, the brother had to get blocked. Okay,
so let's not allow the show to go downhill. So, anyways, please, Hassan, continue.
Yeah, as I said, I've seen Tan do quite a few speeches, and I found this one to be his most calmest he's ever been, and the most divisive. To be honest with you, what I've failed to notice is people are just listening to words and not meaning behind that word. All he's basically telling is Stop the victimhood. Get yourselves up as the strong people that you are, and fucking do something. And there's people in this community that are there, such as yourself, such as Gabs, such as Sarah, such as Gary, such as the other several hundred people that I know in my life that are doing really well in society. Instead of being this slave mentality, victim suppressed people that seem to enjoy the social welfare system way too much and scared to sort of like venture out. Just do it. I mean, we've seen that it's not about racism in the park, in regards to some really disgusting things being said, and in contrary, it's defended in the park. And in very recent cases, review involves Callum. So the way I see it is, when it suits me, I'm going to be the victim. When it doesn't suit me, I'm just going to ignore it. So, you know, it's a case of wanting your cake, eating it, and then having the balls to complain about it afterwards.
Wow. I think did he? I think he left.
Jeez. Okay. You know, my thing just cut out momentarily. Let me know if everybody can actually hear me, and it should be fine. Gabs, you can hear me, yeah?
Okay.
All right, perfect. All right, so right now, actually, I'm going to give my reaction to this. I was actually sent this video by one of my good brothers. Okay, they sent me the video, and it wasn't the full video. It was just a short video, and I was like, "Whoa, my brother!" Like, I was kind of shocked. I was kind of horrified for a hot second, right? And I was like, "Nah, Tan, no way." I didn't actually understand, and you know, I was almost in disbelief or denial for a hot second, right? And then I said to myself, let me actually watch this, the full video, to see what actually took place, the context of what was going on, right? And when I watched the video, the first thing I could think about was Sarah's words, because I never really viewed Tan like this at first, right? I did not view Tan as this word. I'm actually going to share with you guys this word. This is how I view Tan. Right here. That word there, a troll, an absolute troll. And I'm not saying this to be offensive or anything like that. I'm actually saying it for what the word actually means, right? And it says here, a person who makes a deliberately offensive or provocative online post. I'm going to repeat, okay? A person who deliberately, he has put, you know, great amount of effort, intention, and work into actually making that video, or making, you know, his whole announcement and manifesto, right? And he was deliberately aimed at being offensive, deliberately aimed at being provocative. And when I watched it, okay, I said, yeah, Tan is, you know, has to be one of the best and biggest trolls that the UK has at the moment. And I really hope that he actually gets the sponsorship here for what we used to watch back in the day. If any of you lot used to watch the Tango commercials, or you know, not the Tango commercials, it actually was the Tango commercials, right? And it says, "You've been tangoed." And I'm going to share it again. Like, this is when you know you've been tangoed, all right? And it will say basically here that the commercial was such a success that they continued with a host of other characters, including a Napoleon-like figure with a wobbly orange hand who would wobble it in people's faces before the catchphrase. These commercials helped make Tango's Europe's #1 orange soda. The term tangoed is now used to mean shocked or insulted. So I think Tan has done his job, what he set out to do. He set out to actually shock people and to insult people. And I don't think, you know, Tan is a racist at all, okay? A lot of you guys are saying, yeah, Tan's a racist. I don't think that. I don't see that. I think he purposefully chose the words he used to actually cause shock, to cause horror, to cause an insult. And, you know, a lot of people want me to be mad at Tan. And I feel you. And maybe if I was in my right goddamn mind, I would be mad at Tan, right? Maybe. Or maybe because I've seen Tan for such a long time, right? I'm desensitized to how everybody else is thinking and feeling. So I know I should be offended. I know I should be insulted. I know I should be standing up or sticking up for the black community right now and being outraged and condemning Tan for what he said. But I think he used, you know, what I would have to classify, or what he even classified as his Chinese. What did he say? He's Asian, Chinese, Malaysian. I don't even know what term he used, but he utilized that privilege well. Now, if we all realize and know that if a, you know, so quote unquote white man said those same very words there, right, we're all going to be in immediate outrage. There wouldn't even be a question whether if we are outraged or not outraged. Like immediately, we know we hold racialized emotions as a people. So if a white person said that, we're ready to knock off heads, right? You know, we're now starting to realize, or we've seen it with other individuals used it. You know, we're still looking to knock off heads, not literally, but we're so upset, we're so furious. You know, me personally, I'm not a person that gets, you know, riled up, okay? And I know, I understand that I should be riled up, right? You know, I can give you an example of, you know, a person such as Omar and others who've utilized offensive language to myself, like, you know, house, N-I-G-G-E-R, N-I-G-G-R, you know, monkey, baboon, all these things here, black kafir, and so forth, right? All right. And me, myself, I've never, you know, thought in my heart that I need to now express some type of hatred and anger to that individual where I need to fight them or beat them up or intimidate them or nothing like that. It's not really in me to do any of those things there to another person for use of words. But what I do know is this, that Tan was not, in my opinion, okay, and you lot can shoot me down for this, he was not, you know, intending to be racist. I think he was intending to make a point. He was intending to shock people into the usage of the term N-I-G-G-E-R, right? He was really trying to trigger people on that term. And it's quite rightly so. Like a lot of the points when you really listen to Tan, and again, I'm telling you, I know we should all be outraged and infuriated by the use of the word, but I'm saying if you really listen to what he was trying to put across, right? And he's really saying to, you know, everybody that we're now living up to the stereotype, okay, of the N-word. We're now living up to the stereotype as other people have placed us into, as calling us those who have low IQs, right? We must have low IQs if we choose to be triggered by this. If we choose to, in our own social circles, understanding and knowing that it is a derogatory term, but we use it at every single you know, every single possible opportunity we have inside of our day-to-day conversation. N-word this, we use it inside of our, you know, comedy. N-word that, we use it inside of our movies. N-word this, we use it heavily inside of our music, which is being sold to, you know, everybody, whites, Asians, Chinese, everybody is listening to this music and is now repeating these same N-words. This word is supposed to be a derogatory term. Like, we must have very low IQs to want to perpetuate this word, full stop. We must do. There ain't no other way of saying it. Like, I'm going to be real with you right now. We must have low IQs. And I don't say that we actually do have low IQs, but we're playing up to that. We're actually moving on that level of low IQs. If we know that this word is so offensive and so, like, look at the Jews, for example. You cannot say anything about the Jews, yeah? And you not have no major repercussions in your life, right? You can't do it. But for us, we let it slide so much. We let it slide so much that we allow it to become normalized. Tan in the beginning said it's either we allow this word to be used or we ban it outright, right? We either allow this word to be used or ban it outright. I don't know, man. I'm going to leave that open to you guys. Where do you stand on that? Do you think that the word should be just, you know, normally used? Like, you know, why are you being outraged now? Like, you had the whole world singing along with Jay-Z and Kanye West, niggas in Paris, right? You had everybody singing along with that. But now a Malaysian youth now decides to use it as speaker's corner. We're all in uproar. Why is that? Why is that? I'm shocked to know why. And secondly, when Tan was using it, in my humble opinion, he wasn't using it in a sense of an Uncle Omar moment where I'm intentionally trying to call you this derogatory term, you know.
Oh, but he did though in the chat.
Hold on.
The other chat with Reggie was like, well, called
again,
Reggie with that.
I'm not familiar with those things. I told you, for me, I can only talk upon what I actually do know, right? And I see the point that Tan was trying to make, and I understand the point that Tan was trying to make, and I think he was in the best position from somebody outside of our quote unquote race to actually utilize it. He's now utilizing his Asian or Malaysian privilege to utilize that word. And I think it was quite ingenious, personally. I do think it was quite ingenious. And I think it should shock us into really reflecting rather than aiming our outrage at Tan. I think we should now aim our outrage at ourselves and our community to reflect upon the fact that we've dropped and we've fallen so far down that it's now become normalized. That's what I personally think. But again, all right, I'm not the normal, right? I'm not the normal, and I am going to apologize straight off the bat because I've already told you guys I know I should be offended. I know how the Black community, may view this. But let me open this up for conversation. Let's open up for higher IQ individuals. Let's open it up, away from the emotions, and let's open it up to actually listen to the words that Tan was saying, reflect upon them, analyze them, and criticize them itself. So I'm going to open it up right now, right? Let's see. I see Gabs, you're the first one that has your mic open. I'm going to read the comment section, okay? So I want to hear the abuse that you lot are going to throw at me and tell me that I'm not standing up for the Black community. So give me that. Tag Titans TV. I want to hear your opinions who are in the comment section. Go ahead, Gabs.
Well, yeah, and this is a good point. I'm glad that you mentioned it, brother. And this is all I've been saying because, bro, it's actually starting to be ridiculous, bro. Like there's people here that was in the chat the first time this thing got mentioned when I was talking about, have they laughed at, comedies and, times when Black people are calling each other niggas, and they said, yeah, they've laughed. So they're now on the other foot, they're now condemning someone for using the N-word. So it's true, we get confused. What do? Are we banning the whole word and, boycotting all these rappers, all these comedians, all these movies, all these things that, where people are using this N-word? We might as well ban it and stop it. Stop listening to Biggie. Stop listening to any of these big influential rappers and all these artists, these idols that you have out there. And start doing a petition saying that you want to ban this word because it's true. Like what's gonna happen? Stop watching it. I don't want it. I'm being hypocritical. All be talking about the N-word, saying it's adultery. Someone said this is a racist, but yet in the comfort of your house, you're listening to rappers saying the N-word and you're dancing and bobbing your head. You see what I'm saying? Or you're watching comedies and you're laughing. Look, next Friday, look, you said nigga. Look, and laughing. Because now you're confused. You're confusing the people. You know what I mean? It's either you're gonna throw the word out and ban it, or just stop moaning, bro, because we're in 2018 now, bro. Do you know what I mean? And another thing I wanted to get into as well, I wanted to ask you, Kalam, maybe you can get a screen share, is what does the nigger word even mean? Can we get to that? What does nigger mean? I want to know the meaning of it because I know there's some people that don't even know what the word even means. What does it mean?
We're going to go to that in a little while. Before we do that, let me just get this. Let's just get this under control, okay? Everybody, please have your mics on mute. And if you are done actually listening via the YouTube, because there's quite a lot of people want to get in, want to get their voices out there. And one person who's been very instrumental, okay, in me doing this show today is my brother Raza. So let me get my brother Raza in and talk to us because I know you are infuriated by the usage of the term. So go ahead, King.
Yes. Good. Bro, you know what it is right now, man? It's bro, I'm a bit speechless right now, I don't even know how to really deal with this guy right now because there's so many different angles I can approach this in. The issue for me, and the issue of the N-word is one thing. The inconsistencies is another. How am I going to deal with this? So when it comes to the N-word, like you man are saying, N-word gets used all the time. A lot of it, either you can have a deep reading of words where you're consistent and you have a deep reading of people's words, and racism's about how someone intends to use the word, not necessarily the word. So you can have that, as in Arabic, you would call it a manhaj. you would say my methodology is not to look at the word, it's to see the intent. Or I would use the Islamic maxim, innama amal bin niyah, actions are based on intention. So you've got to look at the intent behind the person using a word, not necessarily the word itself. That's an intellectual methodology, and I can respect that. The thing is, do we do that at all times? As in it, was it, again, I don't really want to compare, but it's just sometimes it's forced, this convo, because we're getting deep into it, it's forcing me to compare that majority. Like if I go to the live chat right now, I guarantee you, most of the men that are probably agreeing with your methodology or agreeing with this concept of we've got to look at the meaning of words rather than the word itself, were shouting out Mohammed Tawheed's a racist last week, bro. And he didn't even use that in word. So what I'm saying is, either you have a precise methodology where you say, I look at intent, not words. Or if you look at the words itself, someone goes, I can actually catch Tan off that as well. And the reason why I catch Tan, he gets licked down on both grounds, is because a couple of days before that, because now, you know why he done this? He done this because he got caught slipping. I'll tell you where he got caught slipping. He got caught slipping on that video when he was talking on Raj, he was talking to Raj on a live show with the other Manny Sandhu, whatever the guy's name is, or something like that. And he was talking on that chat and he said something like to Rajiv. And in a derogatory manner,
before you continue, my G, is there any, you know what it is, yeah? Like, I haven't seen it, and I love to make sure that there is actually a screenshot of this.
You know, I'll tell you exactly where it's coming. Listen, check this. It was a live, it wasn't a chat. It wasn't a chat, it was a live show the way we're doing now. Manny Sandhu, I was on the show, I went on Rob's show, we discussed it, Raj agreed upon it, and the guy agreed upon it, Rajiv. So on live, Raj accepted it and Rajiv accepted it, and they were all in that chat. So it's clarified there. So that it's not even, anyone that wants to go check it, Manny's got it, but Manny's taken that video off because, you know, he felt like it's inappropriate. So Rajiv's accepted it and Raj. And in regards to what was
Pause
said,
1 second.
yeah, exactly.
1 second. Can I just get confirmation? So before you speak, because I don't want to bring something in that we all can't verify, right? So, and I know I trust you, my brother, but I want to make sure that who else was there and can verify this right now.
Anyone in this chat was there?
Hassan, was you there?
I heard Raj confirm it, who was basically, he was the host of the show, and he confirmed himself.
It's on Raj.
Yeah, I want to get somebody as well.
I heard Raj confirm. I was on the show. He did confirm that he said.
Yo, Raj confirmed it.
Cool.
All right.
Man's got consensus still. So basically, he got caught slipping a couple of days before that, because like, if I want to go with the methodology of intent, from there he was talking to Rajiv and he couldn't handle Rajiv's arguments. He started saying, "Oh, when I come down to speakers," or something in that context. When I see this nigga, boom, boom, boom. So he's already been caught out like that. So therefore, from each angle, he loses. If someone comes out with
right, before you go further, say it clearly. So say it clearly. What happened?
He said he's just a nigga. That's what he said.
Okay, then.
Yeah. So that's a clean strike. He's licked down already. So the point here now is, what do we do now? So we can't go with the methodology. It's aspect of he's bringing a constitution and he's trying to do thought-provoking things and he's a troll. Because if that's the case, there's a lot of racist people that are trolls then. If we're going to use the word troll on racist people, there's a lot of racist people that are trolls. They use the racist. Most men that do that, they do that to rile you up. My point here with Tan specifically is, me, as in, I'm a colored man. I'm not black, but I'm still a colored man, yeah? So the thing is, you could have used the word Paki. I would have been annoyed. But my issue is more about the inconsistency in people, bro. My concept is, have a methodology, stick to it, apply it, see how far you get. Because I'm all for that aspect of don't get emotional, don't get triggered, don't think that next man's used the word and it has to mean this. It's all good. But from day, next man, you know, the week before it was, oh, Tawheed must have said black t-shirt, everyone's like, he's racist. Most man in the live chat. Now with Tan, he's been caught out and boy, it's there for everyone to see. So I'll leave it at that, bro.
So yeah, you are quite right. You know, there seems to be an inconsistency. I'm not too sure, you know, if, you know, based upon your words, there seems to be inconsistency. I don't know upon who, if it's the comment section, if the comment section are actually stating that Tan is not racist based upon his words, or are racist based upon his words or not. I haven't really, you know, been able to observe it. Me personally, you know, as I said earlier on, I didn't intellectualize Mohammed Tawheed's words to be racist. I think that they were, of course, culturally insensitive, or you know, just somebody who just is speaking out of mere ignorance. and don't understand anything in terms of the culture itself. Now, all right, I actually want to go back into the video itself, and I want to actually, listen to the video, listen to the words, and I want you guys to be infuriated again, right? Definitely want you guys to be infuriated, and I want to listen to the message, right? And me personally, I like to be, provocative, right? I'm moving off my Socrates vibe. I want to be the social gadfly. The gadfly is the it's the fly, or that stings the horse, the mammoth of the state into operation, into movement. All right, and once you get that sting into your system, like, it's gonna force you to start questioning things. It's going to force you to start moving. It's going to force you to start thinking differently. And I want to see if we can start thinking differently, not based upon our emotions. That's just the beginning of it. But let's actually listen and really try to intellectualize the words that Tan was saying. I know we may all have our different opinions and views on Tan, but I want to intellectualize what he was saying. So let's get it again. All right.
Touch on one thing before we start, real quick.
Nah, you're gonna have to wait, my brother.
Fair enough.
All right.
Have you ever thought that maybe most of you are big, black, bald, love the way?
Nope. Way too far in. All right, let's get it here.
You know why people always say black people have low IQ?
Okay, you know why people always say black people have low IQ? All right, let's get it.
Maybe because it's true.
Whew, maybe because it's true. All right. Hypothetical.
If nigga is a racist word, which mainly an American thing, but
If nigga, another hypothetical. Or listen to what you're saying, yeah? It's a racist word, right? Mainly an American thing.
somehow black people around the world
But somehow black people around the goddamn world
so angry that they stop everyone from using the word nigga, but use it exclusively among themselves.
God damn. I want to know, is that a product of low IQism? Or like, I want to know, is Tan telling the truth right there? And that's going to be my first point. Is Tan telling the truth? Let me just quickly listen to what else he had to say.
If that is not an example of low IQ, I don't know what is.
All right. So that's the first point Tan makes now. So I want to go into what he was saying. All right. Be offended. Okay. I want you to be offended. And I'm not trying to, I know a lot of you are gonna, call me all different types of names. We can throw out the racial slurs of coons and so forth, right? But that's fine. I'm okay with all of that nonsense, right? I actually want to think. Okay, this channel is here to be thought-provoking and to get you to think. So I want to know, all right, did Tan actually have a point? What he said, did it make sense? Was it sound? Like, do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? All right. Ziriab, I'm going to start with you, my brother. Ziriab, if you're there, let me know.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think? What he said there? True, false, or was incoherent?
It's tricky. I can't just give you that one track answer of, because it's a question which requires a bit more depth in regards to thinking.
This is what I'm gonna do. I know we got a full panel, okay? This is what I'm gonna actually try to do. Damn, Mo, why did you leave? All right, this is what I'm gonna try to do, okay? I'm gonna try to get like a quick one-word answer, then I'm gonna come back to everybody to explain their one-word answer. So, with you, one-word answer.
Incoherent.
Incoherent. Okay, I'm gonna go now to Mad.
Totally false statement.
Okay, I'm going to go now to West. West side. Here or here? All right, I'm muting you out. Okay, Vegeta. One word answer. Let me know.
Bullshit.
Okay, Raza. Let me know. Raza.
Ignorant.
Okay. James.
Yeah, I'd second that. Ignorant. Or
all right.
Offensive.
Offensive. All right. Gaps.
Offensive. Bro, that on that statement he said there, bro, that's true, bro. I don't know what people are talking about. It's true, man. Me.
Hassan, let me know.
Yeah, thank you. So true. Thanks, Gabs, for coming true on that one. I thought I was going to be the Aldi one. Thank you.
Hey, yo, Abdul Khalid.
I want to say that argument is a racist one. So I want to say that.
Hey, listen, I'm scared right now. You know, I'm scared. Yeah, and what I'm scared of right now, okay, is this. I'm scared. Yeah, that my way of thinking, yeah, is aligning to a certain demographic understanding.
Don't be scared, bro.
I'm scared. Like, what's happened to me?
Don't be scared, bro.
No, I'm actually scared because this is me. This is Kalam, the most pro-black, most pro-black, most African-centered individual that I have had the pleasure of meeting in my whole entire life, right? And I'm coming up with things that are in agreement with Tan, are agreement with things that are in agreement with what what people classify as right-winged argumentations. I'm scared right now. Like, I'm really, really scared that I am actually losing myself. And the reality is, I don't actually fear that I'm losing myself. I'm scared of the fact that I'm actually thinking on a level that's completely different to my people. And I'm seeing and I'm listening to an argument, and I'm removing my emotions from the argument. This is what I'm doing. And I'm listening to the argument, right? I'm listening intently to the argument. I'm used to emotional rhetoric. I hear it all day long. You can go to church and hear that ish all day long, right? But I want to listen to the content. Does it make logical sense, right? Does it make logical sense, right? Forget everything. I know I'm going to, infuriate a lot of my audience, a lot of my black audience. But I'm thinking to myself, like, fam, like, he just said that, like, fam, I don't know. Let me replay this. Because it's like, are we not listening to the same thing? Like,
no, nobody's not listening. Play that again, bro. No, we're not listening properly, man.
Let me play that again.
Yeah, Kalam, play it again.
Just quickly, Kalam, yeah. Those people that are saying that it's racist and ignorant, listen with your ears carefully to what he's saying, bro. Because I ain't gonna say no more. Go on, bro.
All right, let me play this.
You know why people always say black people have low IQ? Maybe because it's true. If nigga is a racist word, which mainly an American thing, but somehow black people around the world is so angry that they stop everyone from using the word nigga, but use it exclusively among themselves. If that is not an example of low IQ, I don't know what is.
Come on.
That's checkmate, right? That's checkmate.
Is that a metric for how you? I don't understand what you guys aren't seeing. He wants to say the word as many times as he can. It sounds like a petulant child, just excited to use the word.
All right.
He's very ignorant, man. Simple as that.
All right, can I get
an attention seeker? I don't know how you look buy into. I don't know why you buy into that in any. So what, he uses it. It doesn't matter if he's racist or not.
Mute your mics. That's not even the conversation we're having. Mute your mics, please. Okay.
People have different interpretations. That's it, isn't it?
Yeah, right. Please mute your mics, right? So we are finding this word to be so offensive, right? Let's just say that. Let me just think of the lowest of lowest terminology that we can utilize. Think of the lowest terminology. I don't know. Give me the lowest terminology. Like, it's like saying, we are, a bunch of rapists and thieves, right? Let's just say that's what the word means. We're a bunch of rapists and thieves. But no, we are offended when other human beings call us rapists and thieves, but yet we use it exclusively amongst ourselves. What up, raper? What up, thief? Like, don't we get how mad that must sound from the outside world? Like, we're utilizing this derogatory term against each other or towards each other like it's absolutely nothing, and we're not battering an eyelid. But the moment somebody says it or calls us that word, we're up in flames. Listen, if we're so offended
but hold on. See, Tan isn't the first guy to say this, though, is he?
God damn.
Look, people within our own community, as conscious individuals, I'm sure we've all kind of turned our ear towards conscious hip hop, which is still out there. The fact of the matter is that within our own community, we have conscious people who don't engage in that kind of language, frivolity of using those kind of words, and have been active in our communities in terms of getting rid of that word. So don't make it out like, say, oh, we're all trying to use it. Like, this is the thing. This is why I said it's incoherent, but moreover, it's inconsistent. Because the fact is, this has been going on. This has been an internal conversation that's been occurring for a very long time. Now, does that mean that people aren't going to be using it? Of course not. But how is that reflective of a whole community? And then the question is what gives him, someone who's an outsider, the right to comment on an internal issue as though he is informed of it in any way?
We are outsiders as well. Do you know what I mean? It's not like we're American.
Why?
We're outsiders.
That's what makes it so powerful and potent, right? That somebody who is an absolute outsider can shine a bloody light onto us. We should feel like so ashamed. Like when I listen to Tanya, I feel ashamed as a member of the Black community that these are the problems that we're facing, and outsiders can visibly see this and can actually come out and satire this, for us to actually wake up. I'm ashamed by looking at him. I'm ashamed by looking at him to realize this is the state of our community, and our community can't even understand it.
Callum,
anyways,
be allowed anyway.
Callum, can I say something as well, please?
Go ahead.
Please. He didn't only just do the SJWs and the Black community. He did everyone.
Yeah,
he did everyone.
That's correct.
He did everyone.
That makes it much better.
And you know what the worst part of it is if you read his whole manifesto, if there's 90% of it that you disagree with, guess what? You're not a part of society. You're not. Because a majority of it, everyone is thinking and saying it now. And it's just come to the bit where it's on its death roll at the moment. And it's just enough now. People have had enough of being politically correct to the point where it's just bizarre. Look, this is what's pent it up. This is what's made it a lot worse. We've not been able to talk about it. And it's getting to having the point where we're having now the far right being created for this shit. I'm not going to say no more. Back to you.
Can I? Kalam, I beg you, let me say something.
Okay, let's get some order, right? So this
Kalam, can I say something?
This I'm going to say to you guys, right?
Kalam, can I say something?
Okay, I've already stated the rules to keep your mics muted at all times, right? We already had one person that's been ejected from the chat already, so let's not make another. So what I'm going to say to you guys, if you guys would like to speak, what I'm going to ask you guys to do is mute your mics and unmute your mics several times so I can actually spot it. And once I've spotted it, I can actually choose who goes next. So for example, I've seen that Mad is going to go first. Okay, you can stop now. I've already seen, like, god damn. So I've already seen, we've got Mad that's going to go first. We've got Gabs that's going to go second, right? And unfortunately, I'm going to move it on. And then afterwards, I want to play a bit more. Then I'm going to get West to speak first. And then we'll do some more. All right, so Mad, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. I understand exactly where Gabs is coming from and Hassan. And, you know, they're seeing it, you know, pretty much ABC, right? It ain't that simple. Now, first of all, what you have to understand is that word would replace people's names, right? People were just called nigger. Yeah, they had names when they came from Africa. They had cultures that was stripped away from them. Now, when you can take a lion out of the jungle and control it, that powerful, that king, you can control it in another environment. Black people in America have been messed up for 400 years. Their brains were scrambled, mate. You can do a lot. It's like putty. You can shape and mold it. Yeah, and what you have to understand is one of the most powerful things with Black people was music in culture. We used it to fight people, fight in wars. You know, the Maroons used it to battle, and you know, they learned a lot about that. They studied us for many years. That's what you have to understand. Who controls the music industry? It's not Black people. Why? Who do you think told them in the first place to say the word nigger? Did they know what that was going to do? They fashionized that into our culture using puppets, mate. And then they used it against us. Why do you see? Why is it that you can't use the Y word on radio, but you're allowed to say nigger? Think about it. Like, there's a psychological thing going on here that is coming not from Black people, but from other races who control the media to mess us up. So it's not as simple as why do we use it? How did it get into our society?
All right, thanks for your input. Okay, so what I'm going to do, Gabs, you've only got 30 seconds to say what you're going to say. Don't respond to that. Okay, just speak about what you're going to speak about.
Okay. Right. All right. What I'm basically going to say, yeah, listen, this whole thing on the N-word, yeah, it's either we're going to ban the whole N-word, full stop, or we're just not going to use it at all. Because like I said, you have Black people using the N-word. Now, if a Black person, let's just say, if Tupac says, yo, I'm going to shoot that nigga when I see him, yeah,
and if another person who's not black says, "Yo, I'm gonna shoot that nigga in his head," which one is more worse? Which one is worse?
All right. You made your point. All right, let's get it. Okay, so I apologize to everybody who's trying to get in right now and can't get in. What you can do, okay, anybody who likes to get in, I will kick somebody out if you simply donate. So yeah, feel free to hit the super chat button, but otherwise than that, okay, please hit the like button, show your support, and please share this link like crazy to your friends, your family. This is a very good conversation that we're having. I'm going to play some more of what Tan had to say, right? I'm saying again, I think everybody has got the right to be offended by the words that Tan had to say. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You have absolute right to be offended, right? And it was geared for you to be offended. But right now, we're trying to raise our intellectual capacity to not only simply be emotional beings, but to also be intellectual beings and listen to the words he had to say and rationalize the words he had to say. All right, let's get it, baby. Let's get it. All right, so I'm gonna play some more of some Tan. This is when you know you've been tangoed. Oh man. All right.
It's either we use the word collectively or we stop using it entirely.
Jeez. Okay. All right, this was part of the last bit. So either we start using the word collective. What do you say?
It's either we use the word collectively or we stop using it entirely.
Jeez. Either we use the word collectively or we stop using it entirely. Me personally, my vote is we stop using it entirely. Okay, and I'm talking to my black community members. I say we stop calling ourselves these derogatory terms. You already know how I identify you guys already. I call you lot my family. I call you lot what's good king, what's good queen. My brothers, my uncles, and my aunties, and so forth. And my mothers. Yeah, this is how I refer to you guys. Okay, my family members. That's just me personally. As I said, I've isolated myself and I've constructed my own culture on how to actually, communicate with other human beings. All right, so I've taken that out of my dictionary. Jeez, I replaced the N-word with gods.
Yeah. It takes two to tango. It takes two to tango. You don't see me going around. Calling my people chains.
Look at that. You don't go around and see me calling my people chains. Goddamn. Reflect on that for a hot minute.
You don't see me going around calling my people chains because half the population of China can't even speak proper English, and they're taught Ching is a food.
This had me busting up for time now. I'm not even gonna lie. I know I should have been upset here, but this had me busting up.
By the way, Kafi or Kufa is a much more common racial slur against black people in Africa, right? Trevor Noah told me. If the only leader you look up to, a rapper or Nation of Islam, then you guys are royally fucked.
Jeez. My goodness. I don't know about the Nation of Islam. I feel I kind of like the Nation of Islam, so that kind of hurt me there still. But right, it's real though. It's real. Look at our leadership at present. Okay, this is big talks that he's talking right now.
Have you seen the Nation of Islam leaders giving speech in speech in London? Now he's just a nobody, but he's already pretending like he's Obama with all the security around him. When he's in power, he'll be high up in the Eiffel Tower, far away from the people. Nigga, stop putting all eggs in one basket and start admiring knowledge.
Okay. So I want to speak upon leadership first before we talk about the knowledge statement, right? Geez, there's just some mad silence in here now. So I want to know, like who are he made a crazy statement, about
Kalam, can I speak?
You will get a chance. You're definitely next. He said a major crazy statement, like our leaders right now are rappers and the Nation of Islam. Rappers and the Nation of Islam. Anyways, go ahead, West. Talk to me.
So let me get in next, please, Kalam.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Go ahead. I see you.
Yeah, Kalam, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say that I don't think you should have used that word, I think because you have to look at the root word of it is very derogatory. Do you know what I mean?
Sorry, the N word is very derogatory. The root of it.
Yeah, because the word is a derogatory term. Do you understand what I mean? So you shouldn't be using it in the first place.
I understand what you're saying. I wouldn't say that the root was derogatory. I would say that the root, words, languages, words, they evolve.
Yeah.
And they, there's connotations attached to words towards it, right? But if we
Yeah.
actually go to the root of the word, which goes back into the, to Latin language, back into Greek, into the word nigger itself, it simply meant black, to my understanding and knowledge. And it wasn't something that was derogatory back in the day, to my understanding, right?
I know, but nowadays it is derogatory. Do you know what I mean? Like it comes from like.
No. I'm saying it as it's evolved, it has become derogatory. I remember when I first learned about this word, or learning about this word back in the day, right? And we've done an extensive study on it. There was a lot of pride and honor in the root when you actually go back into it, in the sense that, for example, one of the first places you actually find, we found this word being written in literature that was major towards Western history, was inside of the Bible itself in Acts 13:1. This was a term that was utilized for somebody in the Bible. Some people said it was the Jesus' brother Simeon or Simon, who the nigger in the Bible. Simeon.
Yeah, I know, but he's not from the.
Just saying, in terms of the root itself and the meaning it had from back in the day. Good shout out to my brother Swissy as well. He done some songs on this, big boy tunes on this. My brother.
He's not from the race, so he shouldn't be able to say that.
We finish.
Like, if a black person said it's okay, but if someone from a different race says it.
Kalam, can you just mute him, please?
No, I did mute him. I did. So yeah, the root of the word, wasn't exactly something that was derogatory. It was something that simply meant black. Of course, throughout the history and time, definitely it came in through via the Portuguese, the Latin language, and so forth. It evolved in terms of how it was being utilized towards black people, and it became a racial derogatory slur. But in its initial phase and development and growth, it wasn't something that was negative itself. And just to say, and it's quite funny because the same terminology is actually used to actually label Africans or certain African nations in Africa. What I mean by that is, for example, we have Nigeria. Like the root of the word Nigeria is actually the word nigger. The root of the word Niger, which is the river Niger in that region and that group of people, is actually the word nigger yet again. All right. So, depending upon the context and how it's been used and where it's been used and development or the place in history, it did get a negative connotation, but it wasn't always a negative word. I just wanted to quickly put that out there. But anyways, anybody who wants to fact check me, feel free to fact check me. You're good with it. So yeah, let me get Ziriab in first. Then we're gonna go to Abdi Khalik, and I think Hassan wants to go as well. So yeah, go ahead. Don't worry.
All right, so yeah, let's unpack what was being said. You see, the claim that the generalization that black people's heroes or black people's leaders are basketball players or musicians or the Nation of Islam, and then a personal dig on the Nation of Islam and how wherever those comments, those value judgments were being made. It doesn't take away from the crux of the argument, which is the use of the word. Now, the thing is, and the brother Mad Wired tried to open it up earlier, but you didn't really want to open it up. So I'm gonna name names. You see, the thing is about this music thing, which a lot of people are using as an argument. It's in the music, so what's the problem? You see, the fact is that ever since the 90s, where NWA came out, there's been a trend towards like gangster rap, and it's truly within the subgenre of hip hop in gangster rap where this word has been oftentimes utilized, and through there has been influential on all subsequent generations, to the extent now where someone who's not black, and is a joke, like Tekashi 6ix9ine in New York, uses the word, right, with impunity. right? So obviously it doesn't carry the connotations that Tany's trying to say black people have with the word. And you just gave a little historical backdrop to it. So that is what it is. But I'm gonna have to name names. So NWA, the tall Israeli behind it was Jerry Heller. Okay. You have the original tall Israeli who's running this rap thing according to Mos Def, Leo Cohen. Okay. And then you have Jimmy Iovine. And so what we're seeing is whether or not black people are on the front line of music and making the music, we definitely don't own the distribution. Do you see what I'm saying? So I think it's very telling, and my point is gangster rap was the influencer of this culture that we're speaking of, that it's in the music and so on and so forth. But gangster rap, like NWA, was formed or was put forward onto the stage that it was from a local kind of California outfit.
Preach, brother.
By someone like Jerry Heller.
Bro, Kalam, can I just quickly say, Ziriab, can you show me where Jerry Heller was writing the lyrics for NWA or show me where he told them to put nigger in their lyrics?
Bro, that happens all the time.
Did you hear me? No. Did you hear me say that he told them to say that? What I'm saying is that the subgenre of gangster rap, which originated around the 90s, was the spreader, you could say, of this word in popular music, in popular media.
But what's that got to do with Jerry Heller? We're talking about the people, the black people.
Okay, so now that's a good question. So now the point is, I'm tying this point to the conscious people within the black community who have, and especially within hip hop, who have been anti this word from a very long time ago.
What is that got to do with the black people who are those black rappers who have free will, who are making their lyrics, and who are choosing to use that word? What's Jerry Heller got to do with those people who are choosing to use the word? Not even just the rappers, the comedians, the people in the movie, and just
spread out.
Not even the artists, even random people that live in the neighborhood. What is making it free for them to use this word? What made it? Who made it free for just black people to use this word? Explain.
But can I just jump in on this, please, with all respect, if you don't mind?
There was about 2 or 3 questions there. Of course, black people have got free will, and so if they choose to use it, they choose to use it. That doesn't take away from the words negative, the words.
No, but it's deeper than
negativity.
That, though, yeah, what are you saying? Can you hear me?
Yes. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go on, Raza, speak.
The thing is that I think, Zerab, if I'm not thinking it, if I'm understanding your point, is that people that were behind it. What was that guy's name? That Jewish guy's name?
Leo Cohen.
Oh yeah, and the other guy, yeah. So I think what he's trying to say is that they were, pioneers of, obviously, like you said, they probably wrote their own lyrics, etc., no problem. He spread it. Afterwards, it became widespread. Obviously, today every man's doing it out of his free will, and even then, it was no one forced even NWA to say it. But the point is, it was spread in that context, and now it's become a common thing. So I think it's just laying out the foundation of something rather than why it's happening today. Well, today it's become normal. You can ban them using ends. Non-black people use it. You're right. All of that's happening. But I think Zaryab's trying to say the root cause of it has actually started as a way where these lot said it, they endorsed it, and he's just trying to look at it from a bigger perspective of, they might not be the root factors where they wrote the lyrics, but they were definitely involved. It's just definitely a little bit like, okay, cool. That's where it originally came from, and that's where it spread, and now it's become a norm. Today, of course.
Sorry. So yeah, basically, what I wanted to say here quickly is, first of all, no, I'm pretty sure he was just coming to an end. So I hope I didn't interrupt.
Habib, cool, carry on.
Yeah, so basically what I'm saying is, first of all, if anyone knows anything about the music industry, but these people sit you down and tell you what to fucking say, bro. They might say to you, okay, we want to have this in your lyrics. If you want, you say more niggas, more nigga this, more nigga that. They tell you what to say, bro. Anyone who's watched enough interviews or know anyone that's in the music industry, they direct your brand, and they've been doing that from day. So very much so, it could have been a thing where they've actually said, we want you to say nigga. But look at some of the artwork they put up. They put the most negative stuff out there, artwork, and that's not coming from the artists. That's coming from the creative directors. That's coming from people behind the scenes that are trying to basically shape these artists into whatever the hell they want. But they're like puppets. They got absolutely no control.
Yo,
And anyone that knows the music industry knows that they got no power, bro. So as much as you want to say, did they tell them to write these lyrics? They probably did. Okay, and that's what you have to think about. They tell the artists what to say, bro, and what to do. It's been happening for time. So
Sarah
first and
said,
foremost,
"How are you?"
so
Sarah
first
said,
and
"How are you?"
Can I quickly get this back on topic? 1 second.
Yeah, bring it back to Tan, man.
With the panels, yeah, quickly, yeah. I was gonna say, with regard, I've heard his whole speech, yeah, and he goes into crazy things like comparing black youth to other Italian mafia and whatnot, and how we're stupid because we kill each other and other people don't kill each other, and they develop, they do businesses and we don't do businesses, and so on and so forth. Whether it's racist or not, to use the word or not, that's up to everybody. But the reason I'd say that it's offensive is because there is black leaders throughout history, yeah, that have been essentially assassinated, if you like, or have been crushed by Western influences, like let's say Patrice Lumumba or Thomas Sankara or whatever, and people like this gentleman, the troll, yeah, the quote unquote troll, they don't do any research into these theories. There's a supposed a laughable manifesto that's based essentially on his opinions of the world through his perspective from, I guess, social media and entertainment and so on and so forth. That if we're gonna dissect that and say, you know what, no, he's raising valid points, well, at least he be somewhat researched. He's not. The reason I'd say it's offensive is it's a caricature of human beings that he has no interest in or wants to spend time with.
In knowing,
The gentleman that I'm saying for the I think his name's Gabs, my bro, he's saying that it is racist or it isn't racist or whatever, or if we should use it, we shouldn't. If you don't use the term nigger, he's saying that you do use the term nigger because you're black, or he's saying that you have an issue because you're black. But let's say that you're wise to it, or Kalam, yeah. Let's say Kalam's wise to it, and he says family. Why wasn't people like Kalam referenced in this idiot's fucking manifesto? They're not, because he wants to pick some caricature of black youths. Black youths right now are stopped more than other kids right there. So for him to even equate black kids with initially, all right, we're criminals and we're criminals like the Italian mafia. A lot of these other criminal syndicates, let's say. Furthermore, let's take an example like Morrison, the rapper. People give him so much clout because it's like, oh, he's a white guy that raps like, and he's really with the shit, whatever. But if you're ever on the road, if you did crime, you know that the majority of criminals are white. The majority of the prisons are filled with white people. So the way it looks like to idiots like him who are not even from this country, they'll come here and they'll be like, that's what's wrong with black people.
You know what? I've been to prison, and that's not the case. That's not the case.
You're an idiot.
I'm sorry to say. Newsflash, that's not the case.
Have you been to jail? I've been to prison. What is that? What are you talking about?
Hassan, have you been to prison?
Yeah, brother, I have. And sadly, my young man, it's not filled with white people. Very sadly.
About London.
Rubbish, man.
I'm sorry, especially in London. It's very sad to say, but it's
man.
No, listen, no. That's a fact. It's a question I'm asking you, sir. I'm not trying to. Sorry, I shouldn't have.
Yeah, but hold on.
Yeah, you won't be you're basically you're straw man in everything that you feel that's wrong in your life, and you just literally project it without nothing.
He's actually not. If you look at the statistics.
3, 2, 1, mute mic. Thank you. So, anyways, okay, I'm going to get back on track. We're going to go into some more of Tan's speech, and I just want to know, like, actually, I want to ask a question to the panel real quickly. Is Gab still there? I don't even know. Right. I want to actually ask this question, okay?
Yeah.
Tan wrote this.
Can you and Gabs respond to what I just said, though? Like, a serious question. Because you lot saying you didn't understand what everyone was saying. But I'm asking you, is he talking about you then? When he says that you are stupid?
Later.
Because you don't use it.
Later, we'll discuss that. All right. So what I want to do, is ask the question first of all, right? Who are, because he made a statement about our black leaders being, rappers and, Nation of Islam, right? So I want to know, like, in the black community, who is our modern day leaders inside of the black community? And I'm going to go straight away to Mad. Then I'm going to go to Ziriab. and then James. Go ahead. We
Well,
don't have any.
Well, to be honest, I'm quite a novice, but Dr. Henrik Clark. I mean, there are modern day. I mean, to be honest with you, you could even talk about your brother Polite, someone like that. Isn't perfect, but is somebody who actually has come from a very bad position in life and has progressed himself to a very educated, intelligent person. That's a good role model.
Excellent, thank you. Ziriab.
Yeah, it depends on what venue field you're talking about. So someone like for knowledge, for example, history and so on and so forth, you've got someone like Dr. Ashraf Quasi. In regards to, and I think the wider point here is about the Black community, is that there are many communities which form the Black community, quote unquote. You see what I'm saying? So we're using this term very loosely, but there are various communities which make up the quote unquote Black community. So each community, each sub-community has its own leaders. So if you are in and you can't even put it down to nation states. Like you can't say, oh, the Nigerian community or the Gambian community, because there's subdivisions even within that, whereby people have solidarity based around their closest, their kin and so on. And they've got their own leaders, is what I'm saying.
That's true. Thank you. I'm just trying to be quick, right? All right, West, real quickly. Our modern day Black leaders.
To be honest with you, I would agree with Zuria, but I don't think there is an overall leader for the Black community. I think it depends where you come, back home.
Okay, thank you.
It depends where you come,
Okay. Jeez. All right, thank you. It seems as though that you guys, you're kicked out, and I'm not saying that you're literally kicked out. A few of our members.
Yo, Hassan need dental implants, bro.
But as soon as you came in, you came in straight away.
Hassan chewing rocks blood.
Yo, can someone get Hassan dental implants, please? And also, can I challenge him to a charity?
All right. So let me quickly go to EB. EB.
Yep.
Our modern day Black leaders.
Modern day Black leaders. What in London?
Okay.
In I don't know any.
Okay, thank you. Genesis, can you give us our modern day Black leaders? Genesis, if you aren't able to speak, I'm going to have to eject you because there's few people waiting to come in. I'm going to wait 10 seconds for you anyway. Jacob, our modern day Black leaders. You guys who are not speaking, okay, this is an interactive show and there's a lot of people trying to come in. And I know you guys come in and give us some great.
Did you say James or Jacob?
No, Jacob.
Yes.
Come in and give us some great.
Did you say James or Jacob?
No, Jacob.
Yes.
Come in and give us some great. Genesis, your mic is messing up, fam. I'm going to have to. Your mic is messing up, fam. Unfortunately. I'm going to have to. God damn. All right, Gabs, please come back in if you can. All right. Jacob, go ahead. Quickly.
I'd go with Anthony Joshua.
All right. All right. Let's see. Did we ask you, James? Did we ask you modern day Black leaders?
You didn't, and I don't. You didn't ask me, and I don't think there are any. I think, to be honest with you, that is people that believe in or promote like the concept of white supremacy. That would be a telltale sign or an example of the fact that there is an anti-Black sort of prejudice the world over. I would just, because there isn't anyone that you and me and everyone could universally agree on and say the concept like people that can consider themselves Black. This is the person that holds their best interests. I don't think there is one. I think everybody's supported. Everyone, there's a asterisk against everyone that you would say would be a good Black leader. But there are great Black men in the world now that I guess are trying.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you. Anybody else that would like to just?
Yeah. Can I say something, Kalam?
Go ahead, Tarson.
Yeah. In terms of the Black leaders, there's two. I would say in America, one of the teachers that I follow is Dr. Sherman Jackson. Amazing guy. If you don't know about Dr. Sherman Jackson, check him out. And in the UK, I'm quite inspired by Akala. You know, Akala is really bang on it. And when you're ready, I'd like to say my piece on Tan.
Okay, definitely. So yeah, I'm gonna quickly move on real quickly, and we're gonna jump back into Tan again. So
Callum,
yeah,
I want to be on Tan when you're ready as well, Callum. Yeah, I want to go in as well again, Tan.
I like a caller.
I Callum, just before you move on, yeah, just to fact check what your man said, 80% of the prison population in England and Wales is white. Yeah?
Boom.
80%, yeah. And your man said it was wrong.
He's not white. He's Turkish. Carry on.
I said went to prison in Uganda, bro. You went to prison in
It's
Uganda.
about 75%, pal.
all right. Can I get you guys to mute your mics? Remember, we're itching to eject people to get more individuals on. All right. So again, I think Tan actually had a point right there. In terms of the Black community, we're looking up at who is it? We had sportsmen. We had we had a sportsman boxer Anthony Joshua. We had musicians. We had Americans, and we did have some prominent lecturers or historians or authors that we looked up to as our leaders, which is okay. It's okay. But that lets us know that there is a problem inside of the Black community. We don't actually, and this is something that I spoke about before. Technically speaking, this Afro-Caribbean community that we are supposedly a part of, it's not really a community at all. It's actually a pseudo community. The only time we come together as the members of this ethnicity or this grouping is when there is a problem. When I say a problem, the problem is usually an other or an us versus them, i.e. a shooting, i.e. police brutality. That's the only time we come together in solidarity and we see everybody working together united. I remember being out there in the riots personally, right? And I was there just witnessing everything that was going on. I was seeing like two, different groups of people who are on a normal day fighting each other, stabbing each other, shooting each other, literally. I'm not even, adding any extra salt and pepper to the juice. I'm telling you how it actually is. They were working together to bang on the beast, basically. They were working together to actually riot. And that was quite shocking to me and quite appalling to me and quite, shameful at a certain point upon reflection. In the spirit of it, it was like, wow, like Black people could get together. But it's quite appalling to see that it's the only time they come together and work in solidarity and have some form of networking communication is when there is something as slow and degrading as rioting. Of course, there was good reasons to actually riot and show your frustrations, maybe in the manner or the direction. And that shows that there was no, how can I put it? There was no thought. There was no elders coming together to direct the frustrations or direct how you should be rioting. Okay. And I shouldn't even say rioting, direct how you should be venting your frustrations. There was none of that. It was just literally the youth or the lawless, ruling the lawless. It was just the youth ruling the youth. So it's crazy. And I've spotted this problem. And I think we need to, create institutions. We need to create structures that there is something called a Black community or Afro-Caribbean community in the UK, where we do have accountability and we do have positions of power that we can look up to that actually have got influence and can actually direct our community, how can I put it, advancement, full stop. We need to institutionalize that. Every other community has this. And, funnily enough, okay, and I know, again, I'm going to get so much like, back shots, no harm for this. But I literally sat down with high-ranking members of the Jewish community to sit down to kind of figure out the problem of how can we fix certain elements inside of our Black community. We was talking about introducing things as policing ourselves, right? We was talking about the emergency systems such as ambulance, right? We was discussing these things. We were talking about how what the Jewish community is doing for themselves. They're quite independent. They have their own, systems set up where they can literally police and govern their own community. But can we institutionalize that inside the Black community? And I was like, listen, we need to actually put a hold on that. Before we can put that into operation, we actually first need to create a community with a structure, with organization, with positions of power, with responsibility. And I'm just waiting, and I'm just humbly, humbly and patiently waiting for our community to kind of grow up and pull up their bootstraps so we can have something like that in operation, because it's much needed. Much needed. But anyways, enough of me rambling on. Let me just quickly share my screen yet again and get some more of Tan. I think it's going to be one of the last ones because we are running a bit late for time. Okay, I can see the hate already in the comment section. God damn.
Let man go in. That Kalam, after you show this, let me go in after this, yeah?
Of course.
And learn the hard way. We've been told. I'm short like Napoleon, but I never asked for a shorter basketball hoop in NBA. I just have to work double hard. Life is never fair. Deal with it. The reason black gangs suck is because they lack business acumen. Just look at how the Russian or Italian crime syndicates operate. It's a lot more smarter because they are into business, not senseless killing. Now you know why black on black crime is so crazy, because they're fucking dumb, and yet you want to say fuck the police. And not a showcase of high intellect. Have you ever thought that maybe most of you are big, black, tall, and love to wear hoodie at night that scare the shit out of other people? None of you look like a fucking nut. You know why yellow people are invisible? We all look like nut. That is our superpower. Next time, nigga, try wearing pink Peppa Pig shirt and see if there will be any police brutality. Try it. Wear the pink Peppa Pig shirt and see if any police brutality attack you. Nigga, it's time for self-reflection. This is a war evolution. Nobody owes anyone anything. We have to make it work, or we will all perish. The only time black people ever mobilize themselves to do stupid shit. Go watch the movie Detroit.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there. Right now, and I have to actually criticize for this now. Now I don't, he didn't really trivialize, police brutality in the sense of, and quite rightly so. There might actually be some truth into what he's saying in terms of, we. We are big. And I'm not saying all of us, but we are big. We are, there is this again, and I call this racialized emotions, right? We have, based upon the media, and this is no fault of our own, and maybe some of it might be fault of our own actually. We have got this, look about us where other races, see us based upon their racism, based upon their prejudice, that we are these big, aggressive or hyper aggressive individuals, right? And police officers are also having that, viewpoint on us. And this isn't something that we are purposefully doing in our day-to-day lives. And there is definitely some unfair treatment, or not some, there is a lot of unfair treatment towards black people in that respect. And I did feel as though that he was trivializing it to some degree, but I actually understood his point yet again. Of course he's trivializing in terms of the Peppa Pig and so forth. But me myself, I actually understood it. And why I mean I understood it, back in the day, back in the day, like I was up in the hood all day long, right? I was up in the hood all day long. And the majority of my friends that I associated with, in my, how can I put it, in my outside of doing what I'm doing, right? We're members of the hood. Like everybody is there. They're doing what they're doing. If it's drugs, if it's robbery, if it's whatever the case is, right? And I realized that, personally, I was being stereotyped. All right. I don't know if it was quite rightly so, but I was being stereotyped. And every so often I was being, stopped by police, or, I was being harassed, so to speak. And upon noticing that, it's almost, insanity if you realize that something is happening over and over and over and over again, and is based upon your description. It's based upon your description. This was the common, verbiage that was being utilized, based upon your description. And that they're just BSing you, right? But it's based upon your description that they're stopping you, and they want to do all these things to you. And me personally, I wasn't having a bar of it. But then I started to realize that, hold on, for real, like if you just change the way you appear, right, and one of my teachers kind of educated me on this as well, right? If you change the way you appear, right, you know, like there may just be less, or if not no more, targeting of you. And after I did that, after I changed my appearance in the sense that I stopped every time we was in the car, like I stopped wearing hoodies and hats and so forth. I've stopped wearing, you know, walking on the streets. I stopped wearing 300 pounds, 300 to 350 to 400 pound trainers. I mean, not trainers, jeans, you know, like 500 pound hoodies, like trainers, like mad hundreds of pound trainers and shoes and so forth, like you know, jewelry, like just dripping in gold and stuff. I stopped it, diamonds. I stopped it fast, and I realized, like, hold on, like I'm looking at the typical what they consider to be the roadman, the typical you know, what they consider to be drug dealer. I stopped dressing like that. You know them ways there. You know the typical like roadman, like in the big Stone Island jacket, yeah, in the middle of summer, hat, woolly hat on all sorts, yeah, Gucci hat on all sorts, Gucci belt, rocket. I stopped all of those things. Then I realized, hold on, I'm not even facing that same trouble again. You know, that's what I would always say. Yeah, if you men are down in your roadman, I'm talking to right now. If you men, yeah, are really down in, you know, your robberies, if you're really down in your drug dealing and all that good stuff there, right? Yeah, change your appearance, man. Trust me, change your appearance, and I guarantee you're gonna get less hassle.
What if you don't want to do crime and you want to dress like that?
Bruv, if you don't want to do crap, well, I'm talking to those who are actually involved, because I know my brethren were involved at the time, right?
He's
and I'm gonna
black people in general. He's saying we look like that, we're dumb, we've got low IQs because we want to dress a certain way. But it's not like that for anyone else. But we're the problem.
I'm speaking to those people, yeah, right now. Okay, we'll touch on that. Just let me land, yeah. And I'm speaking to those of you guys, yeah, who are involved in crime lifestyle. Yeah? I'm saying I know the biggest, bossiest man them on the road, right? And you wouldn't even imagine on the types of operations that they're up to and doing, right? And they're not being hassled, right? They're not being hassled. The reason why they're not being hassled, right, is because they're not dressing like they're about that lifestyle. They're not acting like they're about that lifestyle. They're not driving whips or cars like they're about that lifestyle. So I'm just going to say to you guys, like, take a leaf. If you're into crime, he was speaking specifically about those people, about the mobs and so forth. They're into business acumen. Start thinking business-like. Start thinking differently and approaching your day-to-day operations differently. And I guarantee you, you will get hassled less. All right. And again, I'm going to say that tend to trivialize it, but you know, for those of you guys who are actually involved in it, like, fix up a little bit, Jake. Fix up a little bit. But anyways, let's get back into this.
He didn't qualify his statement though, Kalam.
He wasn't talking about criminals.
He didn't qualify it. He said black people. He never said no exception.
Stop. Okay, now I'm going to show you this now, right? Because so I'm saying, like, stop being triggered and start listening in. Let me just rewind it so you can hear it yourself.
That is our superpower. Next time, nigga, try wearing pink.
Let's go back a little bit more.
I love to wear hoodie. Now you know why black on black crime is so crazy? Because they're fucking dumb.
Let's go back a little bit more.
He's killing us, bro. He's killing, bro. Honestly, he's killing us, bro. He's killing it today, man.
I don't know how this is.
And again, I'm going to tell you guys, yeah, everybody here has a right to be offended, because what he's saying is goddamn offensive. I'm offended. I'm going to be real with you. I'm offended.
You don't sound offended, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
You don't sound very offended, bro.
You don't sound offended.
I don't know who can brush this off.
I choose not to be offended. Like, it's too easy to be offended.
So are you offended or you're not offended?
Listen, I'm going to show you something, right? It's too easy to. I'm going to show you this, right? It's too easy to. I listen to offenses every single day of my life. I don't think a lot of people don't understand, yeah, and how highly I think of myself, right? A lot of my friends was like, "Damn, Cal, you got the biggest ego ever," and they know because they're part of my inner circle, right? And they know I have got the biggest ego ever. And when I hear certain people talk to me at Speaker's Corner, right? Every single
no, you haven't, Callum. No, you haven't, Callum.
Listen to me. Every single word that proceeds out people's mouth, yeah, is an offense to me. Every single time that you lot actually unmute your mics and talk without my permission is an offense to me. You dig what I'm saying?
Damn, man.
It's so easy for me to be infuriated. Like, how dare you? How dare you right now disrespect me on live? 350 people, 330 people listening right now. You're disrespecting me. It's too easy to actually move off emotions. I'm there listening to people call me the N-word. I'm there listening to people talk about, you know, how black I am compared to them and all that nonsense right then. People calling me snakes and so forth, right? It's too easy for me to be offended. Too easy. And I could move on that. What's much more powerful, okay, and what shows much more strength is by having potential or having the ability to act and move upon something, but choosing not to. That's what really defines, or I hope, you know, in the long run defines me, defines how powerful and how strong-willed I am, is by simply not reacting to things, not giving in and not allowing another person to actually control me, okay? And it's so easy for another person to control you based upon emotions. It's much more difficult to actually hold your emotions intact and think logically and think rationally and think strategically. But anyways, let me continue and show you guys that what Tan was actually talking about.
The reason black gangs suck is because
There you go. That was it there. The reason why black gangs suck. I know he speaks real fast. Let me 0.75 that real quickly. This is what I heard.
The reason black gangs suck is because they lack business acumen.
There you go. The reason why black gangs
Can you play it through?
Well, you know what? I think we heard that guy already. Like,
the reason why black gangs suck is because they lack business acumen. So
And then he said they're always killing each other, and he compared it to the mafia. And the mafia exclusively kill each other. The mafia is even in their code of conduct that they don't kill anybody else, that they only kill each other. But that wouldn't have been referenced by that little idiot because it didn't fit the narrative of black people are so dumb, we kill each other.
You're right.
Yes, and he was even cussing black black gangs were only part of the whole attack on black people, bro.
You know, can I just say? Can I just say one thing? Just one thing. You lot. Just one thing. Just one thing. Yeah, one thing. You know, just in regards to that. Look, you know what Kalam's doing in terms of a breakdown of a video. Again, methodology. Any video. Remember, we're looking at, like Kalam saying, we're looking at deeper words. We're analyzing. We're being our spectrum is not just what words being used. It's context. It's what he's trying to say, even if he's not saying it in the right way. We're giving a lot of what you could say the scope of racism is very broad right now. So what I'm trying to say is, what I'm trying to say is that's totally fine. I'm trying to say I'm trying to say that's totally fine. It's not an issue. But however, if that is the case, have we applied that to everyone? Because if you apply it like that to everyone, a lot of men that have been called racist or that might get called racist in the future won't be racist anymore.
Thank you.
All I'm saying is that scope that we're applying today, that we're analyzing the whole video, I guarantee you, I can show you bare videos have been called out, but man, them have been called racist. If I play that video slowly and analyze each word and say, this is what he could have meant here, this is what he could have meant there, I guarantee you, most men will be like, yeah, you can make a case. I can make a case for every single guy.
Brother.
Every single guy that's been called racist, I can make a case because I can be a solicitor. It's not a problem.
Brother, you used the term ignorant, yeah? You said it was, yeah? And I think I expounded upon that and said offensive, yeah? I don't, to be honest with you, and I might be straying from the debate, I don't care if people consider this guy a racist. To be fair, everybody in some select instance is a racist, is prejudiced.
Deflection.
Say again?
Are you backing him or you for him or against him?
No, he's a moron. I just think
cool. Yeah, just make sure.
Say that it's not offensive or ignorant or like for people to give credence or substance to the nonsense this idiot is saying. Is offensive. And for someone like Kalam, who I'd assume is smarter than me from what I've seen in life, from what I've seen on YouTube about life. Is smarter than me. I don't like that. It's a false equivalency to say I'm offended every day. Like this guy, it's a liberty because the reality
is a completely different hype.
Black people are dumb. There's no equivalency.
No, but like I said, when I make the case, that broad understanding, if you apply it to everyone, you can make a loop. I get it. He's trying to say something, but like I've said, he's already slipped 2 days before. Even if you make a case out of that, like I said, what case are you going to make when he's talking to Rajiv and he goes, when I see that nigger in the park, what was that about then? Because right now he's making a manifesto, right? He's trying to look, it sounds like he's the leader of black people, to be honest. Hold on, wait. To be honest, his manifesto and the way he's talking and the way the video is being analyzed, it sounds like he's the best role model for black people. It sounds like he.
This
notice that, yeah. What I want to say as well. What I want to say as well. If you know any Africans that are actually in Asian countries, bro, you actually realize how lowly, unfortunately, a lot of the people there actually think of Africans, bro.
Yeah, the whole world.
And a lot of the Asians that are actually in places like Ghana, where I'm from, yeah, they think the worst about Africans.
It's
fam.
true.
So
It's true.
what he's talking about is his general opinions of black people. Yeah, he does not respect the IQ of black people. He thinks they're fucking dumb.
Can I
yeah?
say something?
He thinks
Yeah,
they're
because you know this argument's very key. This argument is very.
and all he's doing is just showing that.
Hey, but my G, can I say fine? Can I just add on what you said, yeah? Finally, yeah. G, if there was real parity in this world, yeah, as in resources and effort and workmanship and that, these countries that we live in now, these Western European superpowers, so to speak, they would be the third world countries, yeah. And there's been countless black leaders assassinated and killed in this world.
Absolutely.
If this guy cared about us, if this guy cared about black people supposedly, or cared about everybody in his manifesto, or was a populist person and cared about the people, yeah, then he would be a freedom fighter in that sense. This person is essentially a bigger, or is someone that
No, he's a narcissist,
to the
bro.
point, yeah, exactly, an attention-seeking little weirdo, yeah, that people have given credit to because it's just so hilarious.
He's mentally ill, bro.
Guy.
He's mentally ill.
Yeah, look, you see,
Something's wrong with him.
that hate Muslims. It's different to the norm of the fat white guy, the pub going white guy. And it's interesting. He's a little character, and people love to promote him. But anyone that does, in my opinion, it doesn't matter if he's racist or not. I wouldn't argue on those terms. Same with Tommy Robinson. The fact that what he's saying is detrimental to a group of people, if you don't understand that, or it's insulting to a group of people, that's the main point. G. It's not.
Can I say something? Because I haven't really had a chance to speak on this, man.
Sorry. Thank you for letting me speak.
Can I challenge Raza to a charity boxing fight? Raza, you want to fight me in a charity boxing fight?
Okay. Anyways, let's do this now. We've got quite a lot of people trying to get
Raza,
on. Okay?
I want to challenge you to a charity boxing fight so I can knock you out. You waste, man.
Callum, I don't actually want to take up other people's space. I actually just wanted to ask something and then just exit the chat. So I don't want to be.
You'll be the next person up. I just want to make sure, because there's a lot of people trying to get in. Saeed, there's one space available for you right now. If you come in, I just want to see who.
I literally want to ask something and then just wait.
Yeah, who's here that is willing to actually jump out? EB, if you're not wanting to say anything, let me know.
People have been talking, so I just didn't want to interrupt.
Yeah, I'll jump out, Kalam. But hey, listen, I beg you, next time, yeah, if I come into the chat, I beg you, not prioritize me, but I was waiting for time to say one thing. That's why I went on for so long. So hook me up, next time, my bro.
Definitely, just holler at me. All right, cool. Jacob, also you. Let me know if you want to say anything or if we can.
Yeah, I just wanted to say.
Before you wanted to say something, just hold that still. Yeah. Anybody else who's available to volunteer their time or volunteer their space so others can come in? Because I'm sure Gabs is trying to come in. I'm sure Saeed has been hollering at me. So Saeed, let me know. G.
No problem. I'll jump out.
All right, my G. Cool. So let's do this now. All right, let me get my brother Raven in. Go ahead, Raven.
All right. Also, I want to say hello to Saracen. I haven't spoken to you in about 2 years. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, brother. I'm good.
Titans. I just in regards to what Tan was saying and what you and the brother Gabs was saying, I just wanted to give a quick link or 2 links about something that happened recently. Could I just give these links? And I'd like the panel to just have a chat about it, and I could just leave.
Definitely, go ahead.
All right, I got a 1 there, and I got a second one. All right, so do you see those 2 links in the chat?
Yep.
All right, so just a quick summary. So basically, there's a US rapper by the name of Snapdog, right? And because this goes on to what Tan was saying and what Gabs was saying. So there's a US rapper called Snapdog, and he uses the N-word in his lyrics quite a lot. And he comes over to the UK quite a lot. He's headlined in Glastonbury, uses the N-word, no worries. And in Liverpool, there was a 13-year-old boy who loved Snapdog. And one of his Snapdog songs was his favorite song. This 13-year-old boy died. And a 19-year-old girl, a teenage girl, who I think was a mate of his, posted the lyrics of this 13-year-old boy's favorite song in a tribute to his memory since he was dead. And she, as a result of getting the lyrics of a 13-year-old boy's favorite song posted in his tribute, she was dragged to court. She was arrested. She was fined. I think it was £500 or £800. She was found guilty of a hate crime. She was sentenced. She was given community service. She was given an ankle monitor. She was she was banned from leaving the house between certain hours, all because someone found Snap Dog's lyrics offensive. Not even her. She was done for a hate crime, but for posting Snap Dog's lyrics. The ironic thing is Snap Dogg can still come to Glastonbury and is still like a successful artist. But I've put the 2 links into the thing, and I think that this is very, very much in line with what Tan was saying, what you, Kalam, my brother, was saying, what the brother Gabs was saying. So if you could actually just screen share these 2 links, and if the panel could talk about it, I will be fascinated to listen. And thank you for having me, and I will leave so someone else can enter. All right,
Raj,
cheers.
how are you?
Yeah, I want to talk to Raza, and I want to jump off because I don't want to stay on here, but I want to
I
give
haven't
someone else.
actually said anything, you know.
I know.
Yeah, can I just, because the thing is, Raza, I'm not going for you. I'm just calm down. You still there?
Raj,
Who is that? Who's that?
Raj, I'm gonna have to just.
The reason but wing is he's mentioning a comment that.
I know, but Raj, sorry, I've got to meet you out. Unfortunately, Saracen was here, earlier on, and he has been, ready to get this in. All right, it would be unfair for me to make sure you get priority. So, Saracen, I'm going to give it to you, and then
Yes,
afterwards go to Raj. Okay, then afterwards I want to go to Ulrich.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I've heard the term waste man being used quite a lot recently, yeah, and even on this chat, people use the term waste man. But a lot of the times, people who use the waste man are the waste mans themselves, because a waste man is someone that doesn't really stand for anything. And unfortunately, we've got a lot of people who don't really stand for anything. So if you cuss their mums, you cuss their wives. In fact, some of them will probably offer their wives to you, and so because they don't stand for anything. So how do we deal with something like that? This idiot Tan, who you guys think is a troll, yeah, he's funny. He's got a funny little haircut. He's actually very dangerous because he's opening up something that can go out of control. Now, you got people who call themselves free speech absolutists. Basically, they're extremists. They're secular extremists who don't really stand for anything. And they want that nothing is sacred to them. You can say whatever you want. And usually it's the people who are probably vulnerable in communities that they target because they think it's funny. But what they're really doing is just repeating the kind of the jokes of the elitists, and they think they're quite funny in doing so. So I think he's quite dangerous. Now, if you look at hate speech laws, I know a lot of people just say, oh, hate speech. But if you look at what he said, this goes into hate speech. You look at the laws. It's perfectly, if you look at every single, like the Public Order Act, you look at the Hate Speech Act, there is so much stuff that he said on that day, including Jews, including black people, including, I don't want to repeat some of the stuff, but he and the policing is terrible because he should have been pulled away, because what we're doing, because remember, Speaker's Corner isn't just 1 or 2 people now, it's global. So you got people, he's saying that people find him funny. They're going to repeat that. Kids are going to be repeating that N-word at school. They're going to be repeating that across the world. And if you want to live in a world where, we insult each other and we make a mockery of people based on their color of their skin or based on, what they believe, then yeah, you can find those people trolls and funny, but then that's how people like Anjam Chowdhury and Omar Bakri Mohammed led lots of people to suicide bombing.
Okay, thank you. Let me get Raj in, and then afterwards we'll get everybody else who's joined the panel to come and have their say. So, Raj, go ahead.
Yo, forget Raj for a bit, man. Yo, you see this bloody flipping Tan character? when Uncle Omar says sign, when Abu Ibrahim says sign, any Muslim says sign, when the word Kun is mentioned, House Negro is mentioned, there is no shows like this, blood. You get me? Matter of fact, there's opposite show. You're gonna call out them out for their racism. You got bloody people talk about Bani Ganesh. This guy said Kala. Kala is not even a racist word, blood. In India, they've got something known as Kalima.
There is a difference between Abu Ibrahim and there is a difference between Uncle Omar compared to Tan. Okay, now all three of them are in their own separate categories, right?
Your Uncle Omar himself is a black man. I swear down, if Uncle Omar, if a skinhead wants to say something racist to...
All right, Virginia. Okay, so now Uncle Omar was actually being racist. What I mean by being racist or utilizing racial slurs, he was intentfully being derogatory and utilizing a racial slur to achieve his point of hate, right? That was the difference with him. Now, Abu Ibrahim, when I said he was not an intentional racist, he wasn't a person who was trying to be racist. He was just a consequential racist, i.e. saying things not based upon any intent of being malicious, but just based upon his socialization. That's just the normal speech of the day. And it was quite interesting for it to come to light for everybody to hear it, okay? He's completely different to an Uncle Omar, far from an Uncle Omar. And Tan, on the other hand, is somebody who is not in my opinion, based upon his words, I can't judge him as being a consequential racist. I can't even judge him as even being an intentional racist. I can only say that he is somebody who is, trying, he is, I would have to say he is almost an artist in the respect of him actually saying certain things to provoke reactions and outbursts and emotions and insulting people, for them to actually think his objective, in my personal opinion, was to offend everybody. As quite rightly somebody said, he offended Jews, he offended Asians or Sikhs, and he offended white people, liberals, all different types of people, for people to kind of wake up. So I can't even put him into the same category as any of those other two individuals, especially Uncle Omar. You can't even try that. And if you can't see that, and if everybody else can't actually see that, I think that we need to start opening up our eyes a little bit. Okay. So, anyways,
Tan is an artist. Uncle Omar was a very comedian, blood. You could say the same thing about him. You know what I mean? That guy was more of an artist, man. That guy actually was entertaining. You know what I mean? He had a following. People used to come to park just to listen to Uncle Omar and that, blood. But it is what it is, man. What are you gonna say next? Zimmerman, well, you know what I mean? Zimmerman who shot the black guy. You gonna make an excuse for him? You gonna make an excuse for him?
What we're doing right now is something called false equivocation. So let's not even go down that route. We'll discuss that off air. So who was it that actually wanted to speak next? Was it Raj? Raj, can I get your voice in?
Raj, go on, lad.
Wait, Raj, Buta Kolon, come here, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna just talk for a couple of just quickly, and then I'm gonna get off you. Is Raza still there? Is he still there?
No.
All right. So
he's gone. Bro.
Yeah. So Raza was making. I think he was making implying that Tan done the speech on this Sunday because of something he said on my live stream about Rajiv. Now I want to clarify something. First of all, I don't know if you want me to read out exactly what Tan said, because I've actually got it word by word now because I re-listened to it. If you want to hear it, Kalam, I can read it. If not, I'll just move on to the next point. But I've got exactly what you said about Rajiv. You want me to read it out?
Yeah, I do. I think our audience is
all right. So all right. So what you were saying, and I don't agree with what you said. So I did say, before I go on, I did say to Tan, you can say whatever you want on my live stream. And that was my responsibility, so I take responsibility. He was talking about Rajiv, and he said, I don't want to destroy him. He's referring to Rajiv. So if he's smart, and if he's not a O-I-K N-word, he knows to stand aside. Yeah, that's what he said exactly. Yeah, that was the word. That's exactly how he put it. I don't know whether he was saying in the A word or the E-I. It was hard to tell from his accent which one he meant. I don't really care either way. I think they're both bad. So one thing I need to clarify, one thing Raza was trying to insinuate was that because of this, Tan then thought the only way to get out of it was to make this speech on Sunday. That's not the case. I've got the video, and if you want me to send a picture to you, Callum, he put up at the end of the video a 10-point plan of what he was going to speak about 1 week ago on that live stream. It was 1 week ago, and he had the word N-word gang. Yeah, so he was always going to say that from day one, and that was a week ago. So I like Raza, but he was trying to imply something that is completely false. So that's all I really wanted to say.
Raj, didn't he just say he was just a nigger as well?
No, I said I said to you that I don't agree with what you said.
Raj, you can't excuse him, pal. Raj, you can't excuse him.
Hold on. Here is this. I have not excused it. I'm reading out what he said, and I said I don't agree with it. What I'm trying to say is that Raza made an insinuation that the only reason he went full force on that day about the N-word was because he was trying to kind of, I don't know, because of something he said on my live stream. He was
Raj,
planning
you should
to
distance yourself. You should distance yourself, yeah? This is
hold
not
on,
secret.
Saracen. Saracen, can I say something to you? First of all, I will always support Tan and his free speech. No one should be attacked for whatever they say. But you know, I've been chucked out of Tangoism anyway because I've had my own issues because I'm one of the only people that is not an atheist within that movement. And obviously, I've got my own religious book. I've got my own beliefs, and I believe in God. So obviously, he's chucked me out. He's telling me I'm fired. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to stab him in the back and say, you know, he's a bad person. He's a terrible person. I think people need to really listen to what because he said it about Sikhs as well. I mean, he said I got a bird nest on my head. I'm going to say something to people in this chat. I've been called worse things by Muslims. They've called me raghead. They've said I got shit under my turban, that they're going to do this and do that. So Tan, in my opinion, in comparison to what Muslims have said about the turban, is like minuscule. So
But you distance yourself from them, though, Raj. You distance yourself. Have the same ghairat and distance yourself from this idiot, bro. You're better than that.
Hold on. It's not about whether I'm better than that because I don't think I am. What I'm going to say to you is that
you have a bit more self-respect for yourself.
Hold on, Saracen. I've said to him on my live stream, I said I don't agree with you chucking the book in the floor, but I defend your right to do it. I don't agree with you saying Allah is thingy, but I defend your right to do it. He has said to me, I'm not part of Tangoism anymore, and I am part of the problem.
Isn't real,
no, but the thing is, he doesn't talk to me now. So he doesn't answer my phone calls. He didn't speak to me on the day, and he literally said, "Look, I don't want to know nothing about
What
you."
does that tell you about him?
It tells me that he said to me in the beginning, "You're either with me or you're against me."
He doesn't respect your free speech, mate.
I at the moment I have got dual. Oh, Saeed. Sorry, I better not do that. It's the same type of thing here. I've got my own moral compass that a lot of, no offense to atheists, but they don't have a religious book. They don't believe in God. And so when Tan's saying X, Y, Z, it doesn't have no effect on them. With me, these things do have an effect.
Raj, you're more interesting than Tan.
Thank you. Let me
just.
Okay, Raj.
If anyone wants to jump on you, tell me to jump off.
All right, no problem. All right, Saeed. Why am I saying Saeed like that for now? All right, so we got Saeed in the building. So yeah, Saeed, I would love to get your voice in. I need to shut down the show very soon. So I want to get Saeed on. I want to get Mohib if he's available to come on, and then we will definitely have an after show conversation.
Yo, can you hear me? Don't put the sound down.
Yep, come on.
Where shall I begin? I just want to say hey everyone on the panel and on the live chat. Well, first of all, I want to say I thought the N-word, this debate is done a long time ago. It was considered like racist, banned. I don't know why we even having a what do you call it? A discussion. Is it or whatnot? You know, and I'm just a bit like surprised with you, Kalam, yeah, because and some people as well, like, you know, when people like Omar used words like that, see how quickly and harshly people came down on him, and rightly so. I'm not saying, you know, so I just want some consistency, you know, and this, it seems like people are like going crazy, like, you know, like making, you know, like trying their best to make excuses for him. for the stuff he's coming out with, and all of a sudden it's okay, you know, to say the N word, and because I guarantee you, if a Muslim said that, it would have been a different case. Do you understand? People's reaction would have been different. People would have gone down hard, and yeah, man, things like that. You know, I had a lot of things to say. It'll come to me slowly because, as you know, I've been trying to get on for a while now, and it'll come to me slowly. So I'll let you guys carry on, and let me gather my thoughts, and I'll come back on. Just the hypocrisy and consistency, bro. That was the main thing on my thing. Because personally, let me just quickly say this. I don't let, you know, words like, you know, like Paki and nigger and words like that. Personally, I won't let words affect me like that, because why give someone the power of like using words like that just to get under your skin? You know, why? Personally, it's just words. Ignore it. You know, just ignore it. You know, because why let someone like that with words influence you? So that's my stance on that. You know, and words
but if someone comes up to you and says, "Calls you, see you next Tuesday," you're not gonna just brush it off. Do you know what I mean?
Sorry, what was that? Sorry, someone called you what?
Someone comes up to you and calls you.
Okay. Let me not. Let's not go down. Let's not go down those routes real quickly, because I want to kind of close down the show. So I want to get Mohib on hot second. You know, it's quite interesting though, because you know it now brings up you know in terms of consistency, how do we allow people to utilize the N word, right? You know, one of my criteria is definitely to do with intentions, right, and how it's being utilized. And for that, for example, we just heard my brother Saeed. He just used the P word and he just used the N word. Now, if we was to keep consistent as to how people say that, as soon as somebody uses the word, we deem them a racist. But we understood the context of how Saeed was utilizing the N word, right? For example, we had Sarah Garvey. He was utilizing the P word. We can understand how he was utilizing the P word. Other people wanted to come down on him. Like, huh? Why would you want to come down on him for? Like, for what reason? For example, there's another time we had Adnan Rashid.
Just let me defend myself.
Adnan Rashid. Mohit, mute your mic because I don't know what's going on with you. All right. We had Adnan Rashid using the N word, right? And no matter how sensitive it was, we didn't simply call him a racist for using the N word or anything along those lines. We understand the context and why he was using the word and the intention behind him using the word. So it's not just so clear cut. As soon as somebody says something that is, sounds racist or is racist, right? It's not so clear cut. Me personally, I won't ever say the P word like that because I understand it's sensitive. But other people, would use the P word, like that just to make a point. I personally wouldn't. But I can understand when somebody does use it. I wouldn't call them a racist because they do it. And just because somebody outside of your own race uses the N word, it doesn't make them be a racist because they've used the N word. We have to understand the context and the intentions behind it. Otherwise, we can easily throw around the word racist. All right. So yeah, Mohib. I don't know if your mic, your feedback is crazy. So let's see.
It's my feedback.
Just mute your headphones. Mute your.
Let me just sort out 1 second.
So whilst you're doing that, whilst you're muting all that, let me see. Is there anybody who would like to actually speak right now? I'm going to be one of the last people who has an opportunity to speak.
Yeah, can I just say something?
Go ahead, Extremely.
Yeah, I think the contradiction and the inconsistency people are trying to point out is that people were not questioning Uncle Omar's intentions. People were not questioning Abu Ibrahim's intentions. It was just straight judgment. But everyone seems to have held back and had a conversation about it, and I think that's where people are getting the inconsistencies from, and seeing the contradiction. And just going back to the N word, like with black people, they understand with their history and what happened to them as black people. They have a common experience, or their ancestors had a common experience with slavery. So to them, they can understand why they're saying it to each other. But for someone that's Chinese to say the N-word, it's like, you know, just because we say it between us, or we joke about it between us, or the way we greet each other with the N-word between us, all of a sudden now you have a right to come and get involved. No, no one invited you. No one invited you to participate in what we what the what black people's ancestors went through. You know, this is a thing that is in-house. So for you to say that because you have something what's it called, specific within your culture that your people went through, and you joke about or you greet each other with, all of a sudden now everyone else can get involved. It just didn't make sense to me.
I hear. Thank you.
Yeah, no, yeah. So basically, what I want to say, most of those people that use that terminologies, nigga and all that, like listen, I'm not going to say they're all unintelligent, but it's definitely a level of ignorance in their system. Simple as that. And number two, they probably got no culture, fam, because these are the type of things that hold you in place, that make you realize your identity, and don't allow you to be manipulated by media so easily. Simple as that. These people have got no culture, okay, and they're literally being manipulated by what they think is black culture, which is really being controlled by other races. So literally, these people who they look up to are just simply puppets, listening to other people. They've got no culture. Most people from Africa do not refer to themselves as nigger. I'll tell you that straight. Yeah. If I ever said that to anyone in my family when I was growing up, I would have been boxed left, right, center. Simple as that. And a lot of these people in the UK that are taking on these stereotypes and these identities, unfortunately, are probably growing up in households without dads. Yeah, because I was one of those people, and the people that seemed to have the most balance were the people that came from from two-parent households. Simple as that. So I think that those are the elements that we should look at.
All right. Thank you for your input. And again, like I'm completely down with, you know, exactly what you're saying. Well, not exactly, but 98% of what you actually had to say. You know, like for me, it's mad shocking that, you know, we're in 2018 and we as a community or as a whole, find it acceptable for ourselves to be calling ourselves, this N-word term. I personally, I don't find it acceptable. And I don't want other people to be utilizing it, right? I personally don't. That's my own personal opinion. I've grown up in a household where, if I wouldn't even dare to try to utter something like that, amongst family members. Like I know full well my aunties will give me a straight box to my mouth, like it's nothing for using that term. You see it? So I'm completely abreast with the history and the heritage and the implications that that term actually holds. And right now we've trivialized that term to such a degree, everybody feels complacent in utilizing that term. Okay, and we've afforded them that that luxury of using the term. And I don't think we should feel, as a community as a whole, I don't think we should even have the right to even feel offended, right? I don't mean that you shouldn't feel offended. I'm saying we don't have the right to feel offended because we have made it so trivial at this moment in time, right? We've completely lost our history. We've lost what these terms actually meant to us, right? Most of these children nowadays don't even understand, slavery and the atrocities that took place during that time frame, right? They're completely lost, and they're utilizing it, and they're making it, a fad. They're making it acceptable for it to be used. But yeah, no. So
let me. I was off for a little while. I was off for a little while, man.
Yeah, hold on, my brother. And I understand why everybody is offended. I do think that, you can be offended and you should be offended, but realize, like, if we are a community who takes responsibilities for our actions, I'm saying we're taking responsibility for everything. I mean, like American culture that's seeping into the UK, Europe culture, African culture as well. We're responsible for these things, and we have to start taking responsibility and accountability to say that we shouldn't allow this to actually continue anymore. Personally, if you have the opportunity in your own sphere of existing, don't allow it to continue. And if you are going to allow it to continue, make sure you educate those around you so they can have a full knowledge of what they're actually saying. All right, Mohib, let me get you in real quickly. I do want to shut down the show though. Mohib. Yeah, your mic is muted, King.
Oh, let me unmute it. Feedback now.
Yep, still feedback, but continue.
So yeah, I think you know, I agree with the sentiment. You know, it's a word that we both don't utilize, or we don't think it's right to utilize on ourselves, and we don't expect it from other people. Me personally, Tan, you know, playing this persona, it's not offensive to me, and I'm not sure if the Muslims. I guess that, you know, it causes for everyone to look for a reaction, but it doesn't offend me at all. He's got every right to kind of spout whatever he wants. And I mean, the question I wanted to ask was, and I'm not sure why no one's picked up on it. Like, you know, what he was reading. I listened to it. It was quite eloquently written. You know, it just read to me like somebody else wrote that. I mean, does everyone think that this is something that Tan's kind of put together, or is it something?
Yeah, because he has a mastery of the English language, as you can tell. So he's string that speech together.
You know,
No,
me,
but what I wanted to just put in there really
you know,
quickly. Lexi asked in the comments, don't we in the black community use those words like the C word or the N word, or all of these virulent words? Don't we use them within our own community as well?
Yeah, can I kind of jump in there when you guys get a minute?
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Hello, can I jump in? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. Come through.
Do you know what? Apologies. Good evening, gentlemen. Apologies, but I've only just kind of caught the end of this show.
Kalam's been chucked out.
What?
Kalam's been kicked out, you know.
Cool, take over. Man, I'm
All right,
taking over.
just a quick thing though.
We live, baby. We live.
You know,
It's a different kind of show now, guys. It's all like love and all that.
yeah, yo, Buddha, what you saying, Buddha?
Can I quickly say something? Like,
Go for it, bro. Go for it.
All right, do you know what? Why are we so surprised? We don't realize the monsters we create. When we back someone like that, who goes around throwing on the floor, saying all kinds of disgusting words about Islam, about Muslims.
100.
And then when we're backing him and like, hey, yeah, no, wicked Tan, that's really good, well, brilliant, yeah. And then when he turns around and uses the word nigger, why are we so surprised?
Yeah.
You're quick to shout freedom of speech, well then shout it now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He's the most extremist in the park.
100.
Right? And people
Man should get shit back. Man should get shit back to where he come from, bro.
Do you know? Forget that. He should be confronted by the same people that backed him.
Listen, next time I see Tan, yeah.
Sorry, my brother. Hello, all right. I take personal offense, right? You guys know I'm a Buddhist, yeah. Well, I try to be a good Buddhist, yeah. This guy comes out with Buddha this, Buddha that. He is as far away from a Buddhist as possible. So I take personal offense. And so when I see him next, and I do see him in a regular, me and I'm gonna have a conversation. I'm gonna make sure he comes.
You can't reason with him, Buddha. You can't reason with him.
You can't reason with the guy. But
Buddha,
one thing. Buddha, sorry, one thing, yeah. Look, I think I mentioned a quick thing earlier. Yeah, it was correct. It was bang on as well. Yeah, is that now we're discussing the usage of the word, the N word. Look, either you are like Kalam was mentioning you have the right to be offended. We're not talking about offense right now. We're discussing, obviously everyone's going to be offended. We're talking about the concept of, is that word, because the methodology that it seemed like he and a lot of people were on, is that word was off limits. So if that word's being used now, why are we looking at intention? Because if the methodology was that you can't use the word, why is the intention important now? Number one. Number two, if you want intention, I'll give you intention. When he was talking to Rajiv, he used it in a derogatory manner with intention for no reason. So there was no manifesto. It was clear, Rajiv, you're an N-word. So therefore, intention. So point number two, intentions there as well. Point number three. If you want to carry on and talking about how he's been doing it, only people are opening their mouths now, and people are starting to wake up. When he was throwing the Quran on the floor, there was no panel anyway. This panel should have happened before the N-word, because guess what? For Muslims, what's stronger, the religion or the color?
I think what is sensitive about this topic is the history of what.
No, but I respect that.
One thing I'll say. I understand. I have no opinion. I have no right to judge how important the Quran is. I'm not a Muslim, so that's from your perspective.
No, but still, even if you're not, I know you would still. Even if it was your book, that was disrespected. I would still respect it.
He's an asshole for doing that. Let's be honest. Like, he's an asshole, innit? Like, there's no need for that. But what I'm saying is the word nigger. I mean, people.
It's a strong word. It's a strong word.
Have washed it down. But if you actually understand the history, if you actually understand how that word was used, and whilst people were getting their skin ripped off their flesh with whips,
no, it's a big word.
It's serious shit, fam. So for me, to trivialize that word there is basically
it's a serious thing.
It's 100% turning against my ancestors, fam.
No, 100%. Respect.
Do you think Tan don't realize the power in this